great value. You can have both at Pizza Hut. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
This is former Wisconsin linebacker Chris Orr. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station on Wisconsin.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, home of smoke-free slots and the highest payout percentage in the area. Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison, more spins, more wins, more fun. As the Green Bay Packers get ready for a road trip up to Minnesota, Packers head coach Matt LaFleur spoke with the media yesterday, and he doesn't expect to see cornerback Jaire Alexander against the Vikings.
I'd say probably not.
What's standing in the way?
His knee. He's limited. His knee.
Is it just not reacting like you want him to, or?
I don't know. I'm not a medical guy. I just go by what I see and what they tell me.
Kickoff is set for 3:25 between the Packers and the Vikings. ESPN Bet has Minnesota as 1-point favorites in that one. Of course, you can stay up to date on all things Packers related over at ESPNWisconsin.com. On to the NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks lost 111-105 against the Nets last night. Up next is a road trip this Saturday night against the Bulls.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com. Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Is there anything anybody loves more than agreeing with Tausch?
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I got a hunch this isn't going to be concise either.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio.
I would say that you are pretty easygoing. You're actually probably more easygoing than I am.
This is Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, you're not easygoing at all.
Hey!
On 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
It is the, what day is it? Edition. Friday. It's Friday, right, Hunter?
I think so. I'm not really sure.
I am completely confused by the schedule this week edition. Hey, don't let the holidays cause you to lose track of what a ginormous game this is on Sunday edition. Let's see how my voice holds up, because it didn't hold up very well in Matt LaFleur's press conference yesterday. Edition. And the Rob Demovsky edition, headlines edition, green and gold game preview edition. And Tausch joining us a little late today. Got some family stuff going on. Edition of Wilde And Tausch. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on WisconsinOnDemand.com and the Wisconsin On Demand app. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is not off. There is a scheduling quirk, so he is producing Jim, Matt, and Molly this afternoon, which is a fantastic show, although it's better when Molly's on it, by far. So that means we've got the indispensable, always there for us when we need him, Hunter Vaughn as our cousin sub of the day, cousin subs. We believe in better. Good morning, Hunter. How are you?
I'm good. Expected my vacation to last a little bit longer, but had to step in because I'm pretty sure I'm the only other producer that's even in the state of Wisconsin right now for Madison. So
wait, you're supposed to be on vacation and we called you in?
Yeah. I had taken days off where I was going to be off after the 20th, going all the way to January 2nd. and then got some text messages yesterday late in the day, and they were like, hey, we might need you. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So,
what a good teammate you are. What is Jesse going to do? What is Jesse going to do to make it up to you? Has he said?
He hasn't said. Negotiations are ongoing. There's been some conversations of maybe getting an extra vacation day in here, so hopefully we get something like that.
First of all, you should get an extra vacation day because you're giving one up to work today.
Yeah.
But you should ask for more.
Yeah.
Do you want me to serve as your representative?
Yeah,
I feel
probably.
like I'm a pretty good negotiator.
Yeah, otherwise, my other thought was that I bring this up if arbitration hits this summer, and then I've got that.
Are you still under ESPN Wisconsin control?
I think so. I'm not really sure. That my agent handles that. I'm just here to show up. Just tell me where to ball, and I'll ball.
Well, we appreciate you coming in on short notice. This is less than ideal, but what sucks about this week, and I just saw our good friend Kevin Seifert of ESPN.com, who is the Rob Demovsky of the Twin Cities, sharing a back and forth that he and Rob had about this game. And Hunter, I'm not saying that this is a NFC Championship game preview necessarily, but it does feel like this would have been one of the games on the schedule, given that the Packers sit at 11-4, the Vikings at a surprising, although it's probably not surprising anymore, but surprising for most of the year, 13-2. Like, this is a game that should be getting all the hype in the world. And instead, with Christmas and everything that's going on, midweek Christmas, like, it feels like this big-time game has gotten small-time attention to this point.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking about it, trying to look at the rest of the NFL schedule, be like, is there something else that would be pulling? And I'm like, it's definitely not Titans-Jags. Yeah, like, this feels like this should be the game that gets talked about. And it doesn't feel that way. And that's not even like me saying that as like, I'm paying attention to my Cowboys and the nonsense that they have going on. But like, yeah, this should be the game that is talked about everywhere. Just nationally, like, this feels like the biggest game of the season. This feels like maybe top 5 most impactful game in the entire NFL for the season. Because if one of the teams goes out and dominates in this one, that I think gives us who should be the NFC favorite going through the playoffs.
So, looking at the schedule, and obviously the Christmas Day games counts in this week's games.
Yeah.
And obviously last night's barn burner.
I'll be honest, I forgot that game even happened. I watched the Bucs game and I was like, oh, that's right. It was Thursday night. There was NFL football. And then I saw the ESPN app. I was like, glad I didn't watch.
Yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Bears also wish that game did not happen.
Yeah.
Big win for the Seahawks to improve to 9-7 with a 6-3 victory over the Bears, and Caleb Williams' interceptionless streak ends at the end of the game. Another poorly managed end of the game scenario by the Bears. The season cannot end soon enough for them to hit the reset button, and I assume hire Ben Johnson the moment he's available. But the other games on Christmas were Ravens at Texans, 31-2. So that did not play out the way the NFL thought. And Chiefs at Steelers, which had the makings of a good game for a while, 29-10. The Monday night game this week is Lions at 49ers, which when the schedule makers put that one together, sexy, as Tausch would say, sexy. And the Sunday night game, because Vikings-Packers was protected, I believe, by Fox, Falcons at Commanders. Ooh. Hey, they're both over 500.
Great. Like, I'm a fan of a team in one of their divisions, and I don't even care about that game.
I know. You're waiting for the Cowboys to go into Philadelphia and beat the Eagles in this meaningless game for them, and the Eagles probably without Jalen Hurts. All right, that's a look at this week's schedule, but the bottom line is the sexy game, as Tausch likes to say, is Packers-Vikings. And the Packers will be playing it, clearly, although he has not been officially ruled out, just close to it, without Jaire Alexander. Now look, I don't know what's going on. I've tried to find out. Others have. Facts and information are sparse. Is it just as simple as his knee is not feeling better? I don't know. But the way Matt LaFleur answered questions yesterday about Jaire Alexander had some big-time David Bakhtiari vibes, right? Where what was it, about 2.5 years, he was being asked questions about Bakhtiari's knee. Felt about the same. Here is how that played out during yesterday's press conference with Matt LaFleur when we asked a series of questions about Jaire Alexander, who was full participant in practice all week last week, then didn't play on Monday night, and then yesterday was listed as having been limited during the practice. Here's how that exchange went.
Now, it's a broken record asking you about Jaire every day, but did you get to look at him today? And are his chances of playing this week better than mine?
I'd say probably not.
What's standing in the way?
His knee. He's limited with his knee.
Is it just not reacting like you wanted to, or?
I don't know. I'm not a medical guy. I just go by what I see and what they tell me.
Since I was in the room, Hunter, where it happened, how do you hear that when you listen to it?
It's his knee.
And you're not a doctor.
Yeah. Like, as this has been going on, I've been wanting to ask you, so I'm going to turn this around on you and ask you a question. Mm-hmm. How do you toe the line where, like, you obviously have to ask about it, but there's a certain point where, like, you know, they even said at the beginning of it, like, sounding like a broken record. Mm-hmm. Like, are you just going to make things worse for you and Rob and the rest of the guys where it's like we have to ask, like, can you just give us something here? But, like, yeah, like, I just don't expect to ever see Jaire play. Honestly, even in wearing green and gold. Like, if he's out there, awesome. But I don't expect it to ever happen.
Yeah, I'm starting to think the same way, Hunter. I am. I don't understand it. They are clearly irritated. You can hear that. Matt LaFleur's affect whenever his name comes up, his body language, you could just see that and then his tone of voice, he's sick of it. He's at his wit's end. Now the question is, I still want to know what the hell's going on. And we don't get answers, right? I mean, about a month, 5 weeks ago, Jaire Alexander told The Athletic that it was his PCL. Remember, he went out there on November 17th and played 10 snaps against the Bears and then pulled himself out of the game. Now that I can guarantee to not go over well with coaches, with teammates, whatever. But even the way his teammates talk about him, well, he's hurt. You know, there's nothing you can do if you're hurt. It's like they just don't even want to get into it. And so it is a strange, hard to understand, and even harder when no one talks about it, scenario. We still have to ask, and we're not going to stop asking. It would be great, and some teams do this and other teams don't, if there was someone in the organization that would give us the straight story on background, and it wouldn't put Matt LaFleur in the situation of having to be asked about it regularly. That would certainly help. That has not occurred. Jaire does not make himself available other than to compliment me on my hoodie and to tell me that he was feeling better than he did the previous week when I talked to him 2 weeks ago. But there are very little answers. But it's hard not to, in the absence of information, there is conjecture. And you just did it, and I agree with you for doing it. Like, to me, if he's not playing this week, with all this time, I mean, we're talking 5 weeks since he played against the Bears briefly. If he's not playing this week against Justin Jefferson, against whom he has a one-on-one rivalry, when is he going to play? And we saw this last season against your Cowboys. When he's engaged, he could be a pretty darn good player still. He had a pick in that game. Who would have thought this season would turn this way for him when he had the pick 6 in Tennessee in week 3? Like, I can't believe that we're watching this movie again. The only thing that hasn't happened is he's gone out and appointed himself captain and called the coin toss again. But other than that, missed 9 games last year with injuries. Now this will be his 7th game he's missed since he hurt his knee. We're on the same track. So it is a peculiar scenario. I said this to someone yesterday. If Netflix wants to do Enigma 2, he could be the next one because he's an enigma. And I don't understand it. And I would love for Jaire, who I think I have a good working relationship with, to just open up and say, hey, here's the deal. But that has not happened.
I really hope that this is more a situation for him where he's going out there trying to see if he can do it, and like he just doesn't feel confident in his knee yet, and that it's going to take time, and that he's good. Because even though I don't like the Packers and I regularly actively root against them and their success, to have a fan base, because I've seen it from the Cowboys side of things, of where you genuinely dislike a guy because he's basically just given up on your team and on the season, that is not fun. That's not a fun spot to be in for a fan, or then I'm sure for you guys to have to try and cover somebody like that where it feels like they just gave up. And I'm not saying that's what Jaire's doing.
Right.
But if you don't know anything, like your mind just starts going to the worst case scenario. And I'm trying to stay positive for everybody here and just be like, yeah, maybe it doesn't feel good. Like you don't want to risk further damage, but it just feels like it's just so weird. Like I just don't know what to make of it.
Well, we'll ask Rob Demovsky for his take on it. But again, Rob, look, we all have strengths. And I would like to think that in addition to really long questions, that I have a few strengths as well. But Rob is the best reporter on the beat. There is nobody better. He is fantastic. And he doesn't have any answers either. So what the heck is going on with Jaire Alexander? And the question that I have for fans is this. How do you feel about him these days? Are you mad at him? Are you frustrated? Are you disappointed? Are you not thinking about him at all? Are you assuming, like Hunter just said, which I don't think you're wrong to assume that, he's played his last down for the Packers? You can text us 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776 to get your thoughts in on that. We'll get to Rob Demovsky of ESPN.com coming up next. I want to remind you, hey, all those checks, I'm sure they all get direct deposit, but if they were coming from the Packers checks would come from Associated Bank, the official bank of the Packers. And you could join the official bank of the Packers as a customer. What happens if you do that? You get Packers debit MasterCard, you get Packers checks, you get 10% off at the Packers Pro Shop, both in-store and online, but more importantly, you get the best customer service in the industry. They've got the awards to prove it. So go to AssociatedBank.com to find out more about Packers checking and the great customer service you'll get as an Associated Bank customer. Rob Demovsky joins us next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
This is Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Unwrap exceptional offers during the Season of Audi sales event. Get financing as low as 1.9% APR on select new 2024 Audi models. Save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with the AFS EV lease bonus and an additional $1,500 with the Season of Audi customer credit. Offer subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. See dealer for details. Offer ends January 2nd. You'll find an excellent selection of new and certified pre-owned Audis at Audi Madison. Check out AudiMadison.com or stop in and test drive at Audi Madison today. Off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Every day, Wisconsin's 600,000 family caregivers help their loved ones to continue living safely in their own homes. It's not easy. Each year, they spend an average of $7,000 out of their own pockets to provide this care. Wisconsin needs family caregivers, and they need more support. Tell your state lawmakers, Wisconsin family caregivers need a caregiver tax credit in 2025. Learn more at aarp.org/WI. That's aarp.org/WI. Paid for by AARP Wisconsin.
Mark Tusher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris are joined by Bucks broadcast legend Jim Paschke. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Come see what the buzz is all about at Madison Axe, Madison's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Enjoy 8 lanes of axe throwing, craft beer, interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard with 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Perfect for date night, groups, corporate meetings, or private events. Madison Axe is your destination for all things fun. Throw it, nail it, celebrate. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Wilde And Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
The boss brings us in to talk to the boss. Well, I don't know what he's the boss of, but I know he's the best reporter on the beats. And he's right in the middle of that archway. God bless him. It is Rob Demovsky on Wilde And Tausch without Tausch until a little bit later in the program. Good morning, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Well, I'm still trying to get my voice fully back, so 3 hours of radio should help. Matt LaFleur has been very concerned about me, both on Monday night and then yesterday again, so I sound like Peter Brady going through puberty. When it's time to change. That's an older reference than Tausch with his Dallas references. Hey, help me out with this, because I just got done singing your praises. You know how highly I regard you as a friend and as a reporter, and as a sports dad, now that you've calmed down a little bit. Explain to me how someone as good at their job as you doesn't have any more information on what the hell's going on with a two-time All-Pro corner than anybody else.
Yeah. This is really, this is baffling. I don't think any of us buys the fact that it's just like he's got a knee injury and he can't play. Like, I don't buy it. I don't know. I don't want to jump to conclusions, but there seems to be something more here than that. And it may be related to the knee. Not saying it's a David Bakhtiari situation where the doctors maybe say he's cleared, but he still doesn't feel right. And then that happens, right? It happens that a guy can be medically cleared, but doesn't feel like he can play. Now, in this case, LaFleur keeps saying, he doesn't look ready to play, essentially. I'm paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he's saying, right? Is that
right?
From what I see at practice, he's not ready to play. Now, he won't give us any more than that. I don't think he's going to give us any more than that. The organization is incredibly tight-lipped about it. His agent basically just keeps saying it's a week-to-week thing, and that's where we're at.
So if it was some other player, and you're right, it has echoes of David Bakhtiari written all over it. Like, even, as I was saying to Hunter, even LaFleur's affect when we talk to him feels exactly the same. Like exasperation and frustration, and I don't want to talk about it anymore, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Yep, I think that's accurate.
So the challenge, what I'm struggling with is, so last year we know he was unhappy, right? He had injury issues, then he appointed himself captain, got himself suspended. You did a story early in the year, it was a terrific story, about how things had changed for him, basically, right?
Yep.
He loves the strength and conditioning staff. He loves Hafley and Derek Ansley and the whole coaching staff. He came here for the off-season program. And we can't say it was just because he was collecting his check, because the previous year he had the same bonus and didn't come.
$700,000, I believe, yeah.
That's almost how much as you make.
The day what did you say?
That was almost as much as you make.
Oh yeah, look at all those zeros. The thing that stuck out to me when I talked to him, whatever that was, 6 weeks, a month ago, 2 months ago, was that he said, "Look, maybe I needed the suspension. Maybe I needed that to set me on the right course." And he seemed genuine about it. He really did. He seemed contrite. So it makes this thing even more confusing.
So, given that interaction that you had with him, I think that leads me to believe, and look, you know me, I tend to believe the best in people. I'm a sucker for Martellus Bennett and a few others over the years. But that leads me to believe that your working theory that you started with is probably the right one. Because if the doctors feel like he can play and he doesn't, which, let's be honest, that is what happened in Chicago. Like, Matt LaFleur could say that he pulled him, but he pulled himself.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and like LaFleur said it a couple of weeks ago, I don't want to be in a situation like in Chicago where we've used an active game day roster spot for him and then he drops out after 10 plays. And so there could be some, some trepidation.
Residual trepidation.
Yeah, right. Like there could be some of that, and that they don't, they don't, I hate to use this word, they don't trust him. Maybe it's that. I don't know that. I don't want that to come off as I'm saying they don't trust him, but maybe they don't.
And I guess my issue is, and this is what Hunter and I were talking about, and then we'll move on from Jaire. In the absence of information, conjecture reigns.
Yeah.
Right? And we try, when I asked a question about him earlier this year, I said, look, the last thing I want to be doing, and we don't like to do this as reporters, I said it in the press conference to Matt, is questioning guys' injuries and whether they can play. But when you leave us without information, people think that, whether you want them to or not. And that's what's happening, I think, with him.
I got a text message this morning from a long-time Packers fan friend of mine who is in the sports business, not the media end of it, but said, what's the real story with Jaire?
Yeah.
I mean, and this is a guy who works for a sports organization, I'll say. So he's the guy who knows that there's probably more going on behind the scenes than we're, being told. But even he's like, so what's the real story with Jaire? And I said, I don't know. I really don't know.
Right.
I hate that's probably the worst feeling. Well, not the worst, but one of the worst feelings as a reporter is to not know something that's going on. And I don't know.
Well, let's talk.
To be wrong about something, but.
Well, that never happens with you. But I would say this, that the fact, and this is what I said earlier, the fact that you don't know when you're as plugged in as you are and as good a reporter as you are tells me that there's something amiss. Yeah. Because usually good reporters get information. And by the way, I haven't seen anything from Ian Rappaport or Tom Pelissero or Adam Schefter either. So it's not like, the Green Bay media, they're a bunch of hacks. This is a huge game, and that's what I want to get to. But as big as it is, and as big of a matchup as it would be, Jaire versus Justin Jefferson, the fact that ain't going to happen, it would appear, you would think that the big dogs would also be on that story. So let me get to that, because you and our friend Kevin Seifert did back and forth today. I saw this is so strange to me, and I think it is because of the holiday week. This is a big blanking game.
Yeah.
13-2 versus 11-4, and I don't feel the juice.
No, I think it's the holiday. I really do. I think come Sunday, it'll have the feel. But we had this in the story today. I think this is only the second game in the NFC North, or going back to the NFC Central days, where two teams in Week 17 in this division have 11 wins each, right? And it's a matchup of those two teams. Not just two teams have it, because there's actually three teams that have it, but a matchup of two teams with 11 wins in this division. And I mean, I don't know how much bigger it can get than that, other than, I guess, if you're the Packers, you can't win the division still, and you've already clinched the playoff spot, But man, this is, as far as two really good football teams in the same division playing against each other, this kind of thing doesn't happen that often, where it's two teams with these records.
So the question that I have asked myself over and over and over again this season is, I know the Packers are good. Yeah. I don't know how good they are. Well, are we going to find that out on Sunday?
Well, I mean, so if they win, then you think they're good, and if they lose, you're pretty sure they're not good. Is that what?
So
is
I'm
this
pretty
a defining
sure
game in that regard.
No, I would say this. I'm pretty sure they're good. I just don't know how good.
How good? Yeah. Well, and that's why, I asked Jordan Love yesterday. Look, you're 0-5 against the Eagles, Lions, and Vikings combined. How badly do you need, a win to show that you can beat one of these teams? And he didn't hesitate. As I was asking the question, he was nodding before I even finished the question, and he just said badly. He says,
right.
We badly need. I have the quote here, and I'm going to use this for TV that I have to tape here a little bit, so I have it written down here. Obviously,
Jordan Love told me.
Yeah, well, in this case, it told the group, but I asked him. Obviously, we only have one more chance this week, so we've got to be able to win these games against the really good teams in the league and set ourselves up for the situation that we'll be in the playoffs. They know, right? And LaFleur said, or I think it was on Tuesday when we talked to him, it's going to be a challenge that, quite frankly, we need, because we're going on the road in the playoffs, and this is going to be the kind of atmosphere and game that we're going to see in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, I think to your point, I think if they win this game, I think it answers a lot of questions. If they lose this game, it creates more questions.
Mm-hmm. Rob Demovsky with us from ESPN.com. You can check out that story and the other stories he's written on ESPN.com and ESPNWisconsin.com, and you can always see him on television which is always a highlight for me when I'm flipping through channels and I see his smiling face. You and I have done this a really long time. We've seen Amon Green. We've seen Ryan Grant. We've seen Eddie Lacy. We've seen Aaron Jones. We've seen good running backs around here. Where do you put Josh Jacobs this season in that pantheon?
Did you mention Dorsey Levens? Did you mention
I did
Dorsey?
not. And as my favorite Packer of all time, ahead of Tausch, I probably should have.
Yeah, I mean, he had a really great season before the contract and the injury, right? What was it?
97. He had 1,497 yards, 12 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really good year. I mean, obviously, from individual seasons, Amon Green's 1,883 yards, maybe off the top of my head, was at 03 when
20
Brett,
total touchdowns.
Yeah, when I asked Brett if they're a running team, and he got mad at me because they don't want to be considered a running team. I mean, that's the gold standard, obviously. The thing I think is interesting about this one is that they paid the guy to do something, and he's done exactly that. Like, that's the thing. Like, you bring a guy in, and you have these expectations. Most of the time, they don't live up to them. And, like, with Aaron Jones or Eddie Lacy, like, these guys sort of developed into that. They were drafted in the, mid-rounds, or I guess Eddie was a second-round pick. But, like, this is a guy you paid massive money to, and he delivered, at least for this year. And it's really probably, it's a 2-year contract, really, the way it's structured, even though he signed a 4-year deal. And there were people who thought, maybe he'd be a one and done and then they would move on. Obviously, that's not going to happen. I mean, I think it's just impressive because it's a little bit like everybody in the gym knows who's taking the shot, yet you still can't stop him. And to me, that's what that's what Josh Jacobs is. And the guys in the locker room just really love him too. Like, that's the thing that I think is another dimension to it, is, especially with a young team, the leadership that he brings, the instant respect that he earned or had even before he got here, I think has had a pretty big impact on the offense. And I think you could say the same for Xavier McKinney on the defense.
Yeah, I wrote a story on that earlier this year because I remember, and you remember this too, when Julius Peppers came in, he was reluctant to take on that role because he was the new guy. Now, that was a roster that had built-in veteran leaders already. But have you been impressed by what both those guys have done from that perspective? I mean, look, they're not leading us. We're not in there during the times where they're getting after guys or lifting guys up. But it's pretty clear by the way people talk about them how much they have meant in that area too.
Well, the other thing too, Jason, that I think people sort of underestimate is that one of the ways guys lead is by playing every week, and playing through things. And Josh Jacobs is, he takes as many hits, if not more than anybody. And, Xavier McKinney is just sort of the quarterback back there on defense. And I think with that comes an instant respect anyway. And then when you combine it with how those guys, carry themselves and how they act and things like that with a young team. I mean, not only did you, if you're Brian Gutekunst, not only did you kind of hit a home run, with signing those guys, but you also added something to the locker room that your young guys, sort of gravitate to. And maybe he knew that, or maybe that's just a byproduct of how it turned out. But I know when they signed both those guys, I talked to our colleagues in those cities, and both of them said that these guys are good dudes that you will like, in the media, which then to me translates to they're probably good locker room guys.
All right, Rob, a couple more things before we let you go. First of all, when you look at this defense and where they're at, right, they're going to be without, as I struggled to get the question out at the end of Monday's session after the game, they're going to be without Evan Williams, it sounds like, till the playoffs. They have been without Javon Bullard. I don't know if it's realistic to think he plays this week or if it's more getting ready. They're going to be without Quay Walker for another week. Where do you see this defense? I again, another guy that I'm smitten with. I am a Jeff Hafley guy. I have been so impressed by him.
Yeah.
How good do you think this defense is, even with some of the pieces that they're missing?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the good thing is that they've been without these guys for multiple games, and it's not like they just lost them last week, and this is the first time that they're going to have to go into Minnesota without them. Now, obviously, they're not better, because without those guys, the thing, like, look, Zane Anderson had a really nice game the other day, right? The one thing that you sort of worry about is it's a old cliche, but water eventually finds its level, and the longer you play backups, the riskier it is. Guys, it's like a guy. I always equate it to basketball because I love basketball, but it's like a guy who gives you 10 really good minutes off the bench. If you play him 20, eventually he might hurt you.
Right.
I mean, it's just and I'm not saying Zane Anderson isn't capable of playing 100% of the snaps week in and week out, but you don't know, and that's to me the danger zone there. Now, there were plenty of guys going into this season that would fit that role. I think Eric Wilson, Isaiah McDuffie among them, where they were nice as a niche player, but you didn't know if they would be able to translate to a larger role. And I would say for the most part, both those guys have and have done it successfully. So that, to me, that's the issue when you have when you're playing guys that haven't done it on a repeated basis for a long period of time within a game. Like, to me, that's the question is, what's their level? Where's their water level, and are they in over their head a little bit the longer you play? That to me is the concern when you have to do that.
Let me follow up on that. Now I'm going to have to keep you a little longer. How does Edger and Cooper fit that analogy? Because I know Tom Silverstein from the Journal-Sentinel was asking Hafley about it yesterday, and Hafley's like, well, he's won 2 Defensive Player of the Week awards, but he feels like that guy that if you play him a little bit more, he also could, at this point in his career, could make that mistake that kills you.
Well, too, I think the point of that, the second point to that, Jason, is that, like, he's missed some time during, basically since the start of training camp, where he hasn't, doesn't have the banked reps in his head necessarily that you need the recall when you see things that maybe you're slightly unfamiliar with that maybe you hadn't seen before. So I know we talked about this before, like the natural reaction when a guy like Edgerrin Cooper plays 60% of the snaps and has the kind of impact is, why not play him 90% of the snaps? Well, maybe he succeeded and had such a high level of output because he was playing this role. And look, I really hope Jeff Hafley follows through on his promise and sits down with us and explains to us the difference between all the linebacker positions in his defense. But it sounds like they haven't given Cooper like all the stuff for every position. So playing him more, would probably be irresponsible because he doesn't know that, and that's not a knock on him. That is just how the coaches have chosen to bring him along.
All right, last thing so we can let you go, Rob. We talked about Josh Jacobs. You always talk about, whether it's in the playoffs or in the tournament in basketball, you're playing good teams when you get to that point in the year. I have a sneaking suspicion that someone is going to say, we are not letting Josh Blanken Jacobs beat us anymore. We have seen him do that to all these other teams. We both agree that Jordan Love is a good quarterback. No one is saying he's a game manager who hands the ball off and has to make a couple of throws a game. But if they get into another game where it is a shootout and they have taken away Josh Jacobs, what are your expectations for what Jordan Love can do in a postseason game where he has to go win it? Because we have seen games during our career where Aaron Rodgers needed to do that, and not even Aaron Rodgers could do that in some playoff games.
No, it's a really hard thing to do. I do suspect that the one area Jordan will be better and has been better, the second part of this season, is not taking the unnecessary risks, right? Like, I mean, even if you're in a shootout game, you still have to be careful with the ball. And I mean, the end of the San Francisco playoff game, has to be a big lesson for him that, especially on first down, second down in a 2-minute drive or late game situation, you cannot force it when you have another down to play with. And to me, that's the thing that I am curious to see how, if he's in that situation again, does he make that mistake again? I think he made that mistake early this season. If I'm not, I don't have it right in front of me, but I remember going when he had 10 interceptions. I remember looking up that 7 of them were on either first or second down. And I don't know what the 11th was. I don't recall it off the top of my head, but those are the kind of the ones you can't have happen. So to me, that's the only issue or the only question I have is can he be better in that area? But I mean, every game he does some things that, add to what you think he can do. And I think the canvas, there's still room on the canvas for other things to be painted. And I think he's going to do that. I think he's just going to keep getting better.
All right, Rob, what happens on Sunday?
Jason, I don't know. Something tells me that I think this team is better than it has been against those 3 teams that they're 0-5 against. I think they win the game. I can't give you any here's why they win it. It's been a week of gut feelings. Matt LaFleur said, quote, "I'm a big gut guy." Taken out of context, of course, that could mean other things. My gut just tells me they're going to go in there and win. And I don't gamble on it. I don't know how people do and not lose their mind. But it's just a gut feeling. I think they're going to go in there and win. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw the line is completely flipped, somewhere that weren't maybe Hunter has this, but didn't it open as the Vikings a slight favorite? Now the Packers were maybe like a 1-point favorite or something. Maybe I'm wrong, but I thought I saw that.
Well, we have a colleague who follows that very closely on the beat. We'll have to check with him because that is not your area of expertise nor mine. We appreciate you, buddy. We will see you in the Twin Cities. Thanks.
All right, sounds good. We'll be seeing you.
That is the great Rob Demovsky of ESPN.com. Be sure to check out everything he's got on ESPNWisconsin.com and ESPN.com. We'll get ready for Old Boy to join us in the 10 o'clock hour. Before we do, though, I want to remind you, Fleet Farm's holiday clearance sale has officially arrived. Shop in-store and look for the yellow clearance tags to take advantage of these huge deals across the entire store. Visit your local Fleet Farm during the holiday clearance sale today. And Fleet Farm is here to help you when it comes to your holiday cleanup and storage. Shop their wide selection of storage totes and boxes and take your organization to the next level. Store it and stack it with all the storage tools you need at Fleet Farm. More Wilde And Tausch straight ahead. Stick around.
Hey, it's Evan Cohen, UW-Madison alum. Listen to me every day from 5 to 9 and join my fellow Badgers, Brad Nortman and Ben Bruss, with Kyle Wallace every day from 2 to 4 on 100.5 ESPN.
Ho, ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, ho, Gina Della from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Strofe. The holidays are here, and there is no better way to celebrate than with the delicious brandy or whiskey from Door County Distillery. It's the holidays. People are coming over. You're mixing up old fashions. No better way to do it than with the cherry brandy from Door County Distillery, made with local Door County cherries, or the 27-time gold medal award-winning single malt whiskey. No matter if you want your brandy old-fashioned or your whiskey old-fashioned, everybody's pleased with Door County Distillery. DoorCountyDistillery.com.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's a new era for Wisconsin football fans.
I want the offense to look like it knows what it's doing. It doesn't look like someone just picked up the controllers and was learning a playbook while they're trying to play the game.
Taking the conversation digital with the Jump Around 3.0.
At this point, the Badgers are metaphorically in football, they're trying to learn to crawl before they can walk and then run again offensively.
The Jump Around with Jim Rutledge, outfitted by Iron Jock Apparel. Streaming live every Thursday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Get your hydration on track with Water Joe. Water Joe has 0 calories, 0 sugars, 0 artificial sweeteners, and 0 carbs. Get a liter of Water Joe at your local Kroger, Pick and Save, or Metro Market for just 99 cents now until January 5th. Just purified water infused with a kick of caffeine. It's a great alternative to sugary sodas, sugary coffee, or energy drinks. Get that liter of Water Joe for 99 cents through January 5th at your local Kroger, Pick and Save, or Metro Market.
Celebrate Wisconsin hospitality at a Buck and Honey's location near you. You can give your friends or loved ones a memorable experience with a Buck and Honey's gift card. Or treat yourself. For every $100 in gift cards purchased, you'll get $20 back to use at Buck and Honey's in Sun Prairie, Monona, Wanakee, or the new location in Mount Horeb. Oh, don't forget to make yourself reservations for the holidays. Offer availability between November 15th and December 31st. Locally owned and operated. We'll see you at Buck and Honey's.
This is Madison's new home of Milwaukee Brewers baseball.
Churio, a high fly ball. Back, track, bye, baseball!
100.5 ESPN, your new home of the Milwaukee Brewers.
Snow on the ground, love in the air, sleigh bells are ringing. This is what it's all about.
Thanks to Rob Demovsky. He's always great. Although, did he shed any light on Jaire Alexander? No, he did not. That's not a critique of him. That is a critique of the scenario that we're dealing with there as those mysteries continue to be the case. All right. There's a lot more to this game that we want to get to. We want to get to the green and gold game preview. We want to get to Old Boy, who's going to join us a little bit later as he finishes up some family stuff with the holidays, so we look forward to that. Before we can do that, I want to remind you, though, and again, I hope you never have to make the call. Never, ever, ever, ever. But if something happens and you are seriously injured in an accident, you need to have the best on your side. And that's what Gruber Law Offices is. They've been around the longest. They've done the best job. They will take care of you the way they take care of family because that's the approach they take. So make the call if you have to. 414-276-6666. 414-276-6666. Gruber Law Offices, one call. That's all. Or always visit the website, find out more about the firm, about all the great lawyers that are there and everything David does in our communities. That's gruber-law.com. Couple of thoughts from the YouTube comments, the dwellers. We'll get to those next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
This is Wilde And Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by your Badgerland Chevy dealers, proud supporters of Badger Athletics. Go to BadgerlandChevy.com. Wisconsin men's basketball off through the new year. They'll have Iowa to tip off 2025. Senior Max Klusman on the team's identity moving into conference play, believing they can hang with the best of the best.
I don't think we wow anybody athletically, or maybe not pass the eye test, as some would like to say. At the end of the day, you got a whole group of 17 guys that are going to come out compete at a really high level, and we're going to, swing the hardest we can swing each and every night. We're going to try to make your life difficult. We're going to, come at you, keep coming at you, throwing haymakers, and, we're relentless and we just won't give up.
If you're not getting windows from Santa, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. PellaWI.com.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wietrich family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Wilde And Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Getting ready for old boy to join us to kick off the 10 o'clock hour. So, Hunter, Rob made a point there, and I mean, we all know this is a fact, but I guess I haven't spent a whole lot of time talking about it just because They've only lost 4 games. 2 to the Lions, 1 to the Eagles, 1 to the Vikings. Oh, by the way, those are the 3 best teams in the NFC record-wise, and the Packers are the 4th best team. Is that, when you look at that as a non-Packers fan, when you look at it as a Cowboys fan, sorry, it's got to be tough. How do you view that? Does that tell you, and again, you've got a unique perspective because it's still your job to be knowledgeable on the Packers, even though they're not the team that you care about. Does that cause your view of the Packers to be, yeah, these guys are good, but not that good because they haven't beaten anybody, a no 10-win team. They have not beaten any of them.
It does. This is something I've said. I, like you, do regular appearances with Corey and Wally on the Dam Sports Show on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. And I've mentioned that a number of times to those guys as well, that I don't know what to make of the Packers because they haven't, like you said, they haven't beat anybody, or then when they've had bad teams up until Monday night, have they just had a full game where you're like, wire to wire, they're clearly the better team. And now after Monday, I'm like, oh, this is the game that they need to have. If they don't beat the Vikings, I'm going to just be like, okay, they might win the wild card game because they're going to have to go and play an NFC South or an NFC West team, but then after that, they're not doing anything. If they go and beat Minnesota in Minnesota, then I'm starting to feel like, okay, they can actually make a deep run here. This is NFC Championship game level for a team because, like you said, they're going to have to beat one of those 3 teams, and they're going to have to beat them on the road. They need to show that they can do it because so far they haven't been able to do it.
And frankly, if they want to get to the Super Bowl, they'll have to beat 2 of those 3.
Yep.
Maybe even 3 out of those 3, but I don't think that'll be the case with how the playoff picture is shaping up with 2 games left in the season for most teams. All right, we'll get to more of this conversation. There have been a couple of questions in the ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison YouTube chats. First of all, the Packers are 0-4 this season against teams with 10 wins or more. If they lose this one, though, then they'd be 0-5, and that would be it for them because the Bears are most definitely not a 10-win team. I also think it's worth pointing out the Vikings game, while it felt like a blowout because they fell behind 28-0, the final was 31-29. And by the way, when Jordan Love threw his third and final pick in that game, he did it when the game was 31-22. And the Packers were at the Minnesota 34-yard line. And an all-out blitz, a zero blitz with Harrison Smith in his face, and he chucked it up for grabs and it got picked. They go in and score there with 6.5 minutes left, and it's 31-29 or whatever it might have been. I assume they kicked the extra point. And now you're looking at them sitting in a position where they get a stop, they get the ball back, then go win that game. So that was that was a very ugly start, but they were still in it at the end. Obviously, we know that the opener in Brazil went down to the wire, and we know that the second Lions game, they lost on a walk-off game-winning field goal at the end of the game. So it's not like they've gotten blown out by the teams that have a superior record to theirs. All right, speaking of superior, this show is superior when Old Boy's on the show. We look forward to him joining us during the 10 o'clock hour. That kicks off in 2 minutes. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Pizza Hut has a new deal on boneless wings you need to hear about. Mark Tauscher here, and introducing Pizza Hut's new Big Boneless Wing Bundle. Enjoy 16 crispy boneless wings in 2 different flavors, 2 dips, and a double order of fries, all for just $15.99. Perfect for game days, tailgates, or a night with the family. The Big Boneless Wing Bundle is the best thing to happen to pizza night since, well, pizza. Order the Big Boneless Wing Bundle at pizzahut.com or on the Pizza Hut app.
Hey, it's Kelly Sheffield, Wisconsin Badgers volleyball head coach. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison, a good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison for generations. Check them out at 220 State Street and online at goodmansjewelers.com. As the Green Bay Packers get ready for their road trip up to the Minnesota Vikings, Packers head coach Matt LaFleur spoke to the media yesterday, and he's not expecting to see Jaire Alexander against the Vikings this Sunday.
I'd say probably not.
What's standing in the way?
His knee. He's limited with his knee.
Is it just not reacting like you want it to, or?
Nah, I don't know. I'm not a medical guy. I just go by what I see and what they tell me.
Kickoff is set for 3:25 between the Packers and the Vikings. ESPN Bet has Minnesota as 1-point favorites in that one. And, of course, you can stay up to date on all things Packers related over at ESPNWisconsin.com. On to the NBA. The Milwaukee Bucks lost last night, 111-105 against the Nets. They're back at it Saturday night against the Bulls.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde And Tausch begins now. And it begins. Do we have any sort of, Hunter, music for like the entrance of royalty? You know, like when the king walks in or anything like that? Do we have any music that would fit that genre?
Well, Jesse did know that Tausch was going to be joining a little bit late, so he put in the extra work even on Christmas, and he did come up with something for us.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
I've heard that joke before. Joining us now from his undisclosed location, he is the Packers Hall of Famer. He's Mark Tauscher. Tausch, good morning. How are you?
How was the first hour? I'm doing fantastic. Just have family in town, so I appreciate you letting me spend a little extra time with them before they head out. And got a great Christmas gift that's going to become, I don't know if it'll become a regular part of the show, but it's called the Loud Cup or the Loud Cup, depending on how you do it. So, you know, we all in the new. Hold up a second. We all in the new year want to make sure we're staying hydrated, and you know, so you get a big jug, fill it with water.
You like big jugs, and you cannot lie.
I love big jugs. You're 100% right about that. No, I'm serious, Hunter. I do love big jugs. And then this little guy. So if there's a bad take, you know, again, it's the Loud Cup. We've heard a lot of this over the holidays. So if you're talking. Jason's giving a take. I'm sipping my water, and I hear something that I don't love from Wilde. I blow the horn. The Loud Cup.
Sounds a lot like the training camp horn.
It does. It also could be, I know it's Viking week, could be the Skol. So got that going for us, which is kind of nice.
I don't really want to discuss gifts on the show again because that has not gone great earlier in the week or last week.
I'm going to tell you this, Jason. All the gifts we got, and you know, trying to cut back on getting gifts and things like that. Our kids got plenty of gifts. Yours ran the gamut as the best gift I got. Just so you know.
Thank you. I appreciate.
Best gift I got was from you.
So do you drink? You do drink out of the loud cup though?
Mhm.
It's not just for sound effects.
Yeah, so it's a double lid. So you got the one side here where you get a bunch of water, drink, or whatever.
Sure.
Whatever you want to keep cold or warm. And then this side is that's a bad take. You're an idiot. I want this we played a bunch of apples to apples in some of those games over the course of the last 3 days. And a lot of when things were going south, or if Eleanor or Max were dragging on a little bit too long, or Sophie was telling a bad joke, that cup got brought to fruition.
All right. Well, we're happy to have you for the final 2 hours of the program now. I know we've got the green and gold game preview scheduled for this portion of the program, but always when you join the show, normally when it begins, you usually have something on your mind. You had the loud cup already. Is there anything else that you need to get to immediately beforehand? It's almost
there
like I'm
is.
used to working with you.
Thank you for asking, Jason. It's very nice of you. I don't understand, and we've had this discussion before. First off, I saw a poll or Gallup polling that gift cards are the number one gift people like, which, again, somebody hands me a Quick Trip gift card, I'm excited. A Fleet Farm gift card, very excited. A Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin gift card, very excited. I don't know if Coors Light can do gift cards, Tito's. I don't know. I don't think so. But if they did, I'd be very excited. What has happened, and what I didn't realize, and they're not a partner of ours. I'm not going to give them love.
Baskin-Robbins?
No, if it was ice cream, I would give it love. I don't fully understand how lottery tickets go void. I win a lottery ticket, I should be able to cash said lottery ticket. If it's 18 months away, why can't I not? I won. Why can't I cash that lottery ticket? I found out we used to do these saran wrap balls. Yeah, we used to do these saran wrap balls, and lottery tickets are great, fun little trinkets to put in when you wrap the saran wrap ball and you're pulling and the lottery tickets pop out. And if they're 6 months old, the lottery tickets are dead. They're dead, Jerry. And I don't get it.
So how much did you win, if you don't mind me asking? Like $6?
Well, no. So we won. So I won. I think we did. There's a bunch of lottery. Probably won $4. Okay. But what I'm saying is, in the past, we've done more saran wrap. We didn't do a ton of saran wrap or any this year. But lottery tickets are a fun way we do things with competitions, et cetera, et cetera. I was told that the lottery tickets that I had, and maybe I had left them sit too long. I bought them, and then we didn't do something, and then I put them in the saran wrap ball. They go void. So the guy scratched them off, and he had won a $25 ticket. He went to take it in, and they said, well, this lottery ticket is expired. What? What do you mean it expired? You lost. They don't care if you lose, but if you win the lottery ticket, they don't cash it? I'm sorry, I got a problem with that.
You should.
I got a problem with that.
I believe
that's bull-larky.
I believe there was, and Hunter can fact-check me on this, because I'm not used to having a producer that can fact-check information when you say it, so I'm going to take advantage when I have one. I think
they give you a blind resume is the other question.
Not yet, but there's still a lot of show left.
Okay.
I think there was a change in the law about gift cards, because I have a couple of friends who own restaurants who there was a time where your gift card could expire.
Deducting it.
Right.
But you also could deduct it, which is BS.
But now that's no mas. You can't do that anymore. So even if it's 2-3 years old, as long as the establishment still exists, they have to honor it.
Yep.
I feel
and by the way, Jason, I don't have a problem if a place is going out of business. It's going out of business.
Sure.
Hey, you got 2 weeks to do it, and if it goes out of business, hey, that's on you. You know, I never thought they should be able to deduct. I bought a $100 gift card, and all of a sudden, 6 months later, it's down to $85. That's garbanzo.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see that legislation passed that. But now I think we have to start having a conversation about lottery tickets.
Well, lottery tickets, I know from working at a gas station, it was kind of the same thing as like Mega Millions. You have a date a window that you have to like report that you won.
Why?
By.
Why?
Well, because otherwise, like, they just have that money just sitting there and sitting there
So
and
what?
sitting there.
They're getting interest-free money that you're not getting.
I know,
wait a minute.
Tausch.
All right.
I want to know the why of it.
I understand.
Why?
Hunter is leaning on his experience as a gas station attendant, not as a member of the hierarchy of the
I understand. I'm not, Hunter, just for the record, I'm not yelling at you. I'm just saying that's
like
a BS excuse. No, I understand where you're coming from on that.
Also, for gift cards, it is, according to Google's AI overview result, federal law states that gift cards cannot expire for at least 5 years from the date of purchase. So I would like a 5-year window on a scratch-off. I think that's a good window.
Scratch-offs cannot be 90 to 180 days. I'm sorry. Like, stuff happens. You lose it. It's sitting in your car. Like, whatever. I spend the money. In lottery tickets, you already lose almost every time, right?
It's true.
You do.
House wins.
So when you finally get a winner and you forget to go cash the darn thing, and then all of a sudden it's this, it may be, if you want to start going off of when it's scratched, like I buy a stack of lottery tickets and I leave them, I want to have if you really want to go down this road.
Is there some sort of DNA that'll tell you when it was scratched off?
If you don't think that could be in play, it could be. But the bottom line is, it's garbage and it needs to be fixed. Like if somebody has a winning lottery ticket, cash it. Okay? I think that's just. I think it's unfair.
Point of order, just to clarify,
Sure.
When you told the story originally, you had included a lottery ticket in the Saran wrap ball, and a person that got it scratched it off and won $25. So did they wait to redeem it, or did you give them an
it was
old?
on me.
So it's
the
not
lottery
even their,
ticket.
It's not even their fault. It's your fault.
It's not their fault. It's my fault. I did not think, lottery tickets expire. Like, what are we doing? They're scratch-offs. They should expire. Like, if somebody has a $20 winner in 2022 and they come in 2023, I'm sorry, you put it in a little slot at the gas station, the money spits out. That's how it should be. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah, no.
But that's what I think.
Expired. All right, one thing that does not expire, well, one thing that really does expire are your windows. You need to change them out, and when you have the opportunity to do it, you better do it with the best in the business, even if they continue to slander Santa's elves, and that's Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Only got a couple more days of slandering those elves. Great job by Santa again. By all accounts, Santa went, got all kinds of stuff. We got everybody their goods. He's a magical fella. But his elves, they're not quite qualified to build those great Pella windows and doors. There's just too many options, too many customizations. So instead of going through the big red fella, take advantage of this deal from Pella. Get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Certain restrictions do apply. This offer ends New Year's Eve. Visit PellaWI.com today to learn more.
We'll get to the green and gold game preview and maybe even some prize picks for the weekend. That's all still ahead. With Tausch joining us now, it's Wilde And Tausch.
This is Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Want to join the fastest growing home solar company in the nation and work in the fastest growing industry in the world? Everlight Solar has open positions in the Madison area and in their newly open Milwaukee location. As Wisconsin's largest home solar company, Everlight Solar offers great opportunities to gain new skills and advance your career. Don't miss the chance to join the Everlight Solar team. Visit everlightsolar.com to apply today. Save money, save the planet, and start with Everlight Solar.
Dog, I can't remember a game that was this good.
Yeah, you know what else would be great right now? Some food from the Great Dane.
I know, but we can't go right now.
Good news! The Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company is available on DoorDash and Uber Eats. Stay in the game with the full menu delivered from the Great Dane closest to you. Downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Order today with DoorDash and Uber Eats or on thegreatdanepub.com. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
You're probably being overwhelmed with information about semaglutide, the game-changing FDA-approved weight loss treatment. Jim Rutledge here. I was like you. I didn't know what it was until I saw Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. He can walk you through the benefits. He can tell you if it's right for you, and then you could come up with a plan to change your life with a workout plan and semaglutide. With that plan, I dropped from 20% body fat to 10% body fat, and I dropped over 20 pounds of fat and kept my muscle. You can do the same thing. Go see Dr. Nestor Rodriguez at Carbon World Health.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Hunter Vaughn here. Coming up after the holidays, our coverage of high school basketball will be in full swing. From rivalries to the postseason, we'll have some of the best teams and the top players from around the area right here on ESPN Madison. Along with listening to every game on ESPN Madison and Wisconsin On Demand, you can subscribe to the ESPN Madison YouTube page and watch every game live.
Talk Badger sports year-round with the Jump Around podcast.
The one thing I learned from Coach Alvarez is the plan to win.
Tune in for the Top Badgers conversations every week, featuring special guests with Wisconsin players, coaches, and more.
In my mind, a lot of the alumni mind, kickoff starts now. Everything we do between now and August 30th, 2025, we're determined where we go as a program.
The Jump Around, brought to you by Game Day Men's Health Middleton. Streaming live every Thursday on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Purchase your tickets, grab some friends, and get to the Sylvie on Monday, February 24th for Andy North Trivia Night, presented by Exact Sciences. Enjoy a fun and inspiring evening of trivia, music, food, and refreshments while helping to raise money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. This fun and inspiring event is hosted by Andy North, and in addition to the trivia, the lineup includes a silent auction, celebrity appearances, and prizes. Doors open at 6 p.m. Visit AndyNorthandFriends.com to buy your tickets. Past year's events have sold out quickly, so get your tickets today.
Unwrap exceptional offers during the Season of Audi sales event. Get financing as low as 1.9% APR on select new 2024 Audi models. Save $7,500 on select Audi EVs with the AFS EV lease bonus and an additional $1,500 with the Season of Audi customer credit. Offer subject to credit approval through Audi Financial Services. See dealer for details. Offer ends January 2nd. You'll find an excellent selection of new and certified pre-owned Audis at Audi Madison. Check out AudiMadison.com or stop in and test drive at Audi Madison today. Off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
Professional volleyball is coming to Madison this January. Featuring Olympic medalists Lauren Carlini and Annie Drew Schumacher, Love Madison Volleyball is Madison's newest pro team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from Olympic medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 17th at the Wisconsin Fieldhouse. Visit lovb.com for more information and tickets for Love Madison matches. Volleyball is the next major league.
This is Wilde And Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
We'll get to the green and gold game preview after Tausch tells us about a place that I know we will be stopping at least once on our drive to Minneapolis and probably twice.
More than that, unless Paula has her way, and that's Quick Trip. Let's talk a little bit about Quick Trip. Life is busy. Can't get that lottery ticket in there on time. Well, Quick Trip will still do it. That's what Quick Trip does. I went free coffee on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Quick Trip, just handing out free Karuba coffee. How great is that? But that's what we expect from Quick Trip. Clean restrooms and fresh groceries. You missed a little something on one of your holiday menus. You went in there, you grabbed it. Quick Trip's got the fuel to get you up to Minneapolis, plus ATMs and free air. All that great stuff. They got boneless pork chops, 99 cents. Summer sausage, 2 for $7. Of course, all the great chicken deals on Mondays and on Wednesdays. bakery items, everything you're looking for. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of all that Quick Trip has to offer on any of your road trips. Quick Trip, we will see you next time.
Time now for the Green and Gold game preview.
Let's take a closer look at this week's matchup. This is the Green and Gold game preview.
All right, gentlemen, our three big questions ahead of the Packers-Vikings this Sunday afternoon. What is the big storyline heading into the weekend's NFC North showdown?
Ooh. I think from Green Bay's standpoint is, can we beat a big boy team? That's all I heard the last couple of days. You start, Green Bay's beating the teams, but they haven't had a signature win. That's been the big thing. And I think from Green Bay's standpoint, I know I have a differing opinion than I think a lot of our fans do in the fact that I don't think this game is some make or break. Oh, we're going to have to prove to ourselves. I don't buy it because I've lived it. And it's about what you do in the playoffs, and it's about how you're playing and how much confidence and belief in what you have. I don't think there is a unit that feels better about where they're at than this Packer defense, what they've done, the belief in that now that they're getting home. So, to me, it's about disrupting Sam Darnold, making some plays on defense, and really continuing to build off of that. But I don't view this as do or die as maybe some Packer fans go, if we lose to Minnesota, the season's over. No, I don't buy it. I understand where people are coming from, but that is not going to be the narrative. The narrative is yet to be written. This season is still Natasha Bedingfield, even if they beat Minnesota. But staying out of that 7th slot, I think, needs to be of utmost. They're not going to lose to the Bears next week. You can book that. So then it comes down to, are you going to end up in that 6th spot? Because you lose this weekend, you can't get any higher than 6. That's what this is about for me this week.
I agree with Tausch. It is not make or break. But it is, as I like to say about a season, one of the things that happens is it's a fact-finding mission. And as I have said time and time and time again, the Packers are a good team. I just haven't figured out how good. There's no denying that they're good. But when you
Can
lose,
they be great? Can they be a great team?
Right. And if they win this one, it gives me more reason to believe that they're capable of being a great team. It doesn't guarantee they are, but it certainly gives me more evidence to say, okay, I could see them doing what I consider to be next to impossible. I know the 05 Steelers and the 07 Giants and the 10 Packers did it, but more often than not, teams that have to win 3 straight road games to make the Super Bowl don't win 3 straight road games to make the Super Bowl. And so a win here gives me at least a little more evidence to my belief of, okay, they're good enough. They could pull this off. I still think it's unlikely, but this is a game that, look, you can poo-poo the Packers, you can poo-poo the Vikings, but the records are what their records are, and sooner or later you have to acknowledge that they're both good. Are they both Miami Dolphins 1972 or whatever good? Of course not. But I am eager to see. I am really excited about this game. As a reporter, being there in person, I can't wait to see how it unfolds. But this is a fact-finding game for me. That is my storyline for the Packers. Next.
So, Jason, you can use this analogy if you want. I don't think everybody loves off-roading. Like, I think people that have a little spirit of adventure, they love going off-roading, climbing sand dunes, and going in gravel pits. You don't want to live that way. You want to have some access roads, and you want to have interstates that will help you get to your journey easier. You're going up to Minneapolis. It's great you're on Highway 29 a bunch of way. Would it be great if you were on some gravel road that's winding through and you got to go through a sand pit, and you got to go through a gravel pit, and you got to Fred Flintstone it? It can be done, but dang it, it's difficult. Give me some interstate. Interstate means I'm a 5 or 6 seed. 7th seed means I'm Fred Flintstone in it. And that ain't easy on the feet. Next.
I don't know if I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
It was good.
What do you mean, yeah?
You've had better. You've had better. That's all I'm saying.
Well, of course I have.
Yeah, I'm just keeping the bar up here for you.
Of course I have.
That's fair. I appreciate accountability. I do. All right, what's next?
Besides Jordan Love, which player is the most important to the Packers having success on Sunday?
I mean, I'm going to give you a canned answer, and that's the D-line. But, again, I just think I'm going Kenny Clark again. I did this last time we played the Minnesota Vikings because Kenny J. Clark has been a Viking killer throughout his career.
Mm-hmm.
They have found it was a Bradbury. Nobody could block him. He put people into infirmaries. Like, guys would go on IR after he played him. And he is a difference maker. So I need to see him as disruptive and getting in, because Sam Darnold, he moves better than Goff, but they're basically the same guy. And, by the way, most quarterbacks are. Give them a clean pocket, they're going to find guys. Don't, things get dicey. Interceptions are thrown. There's issues that come up. An interior part of the D-line, and because Kenny is the leader of that group, and he's been a Viking killer throughout his career, Kenny Clark is my guy that needs to be an impact player on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm going to divide this up among several players because we spent a lot of time talking about Jaire Alexander. So it's Carrington Valentine.
Nothing to see here with Jaire. I didn't catch what you were talking about, but it's all good, right? Everything's
yeah. He's do you like, are his chances better this week than they were last week? No, I don't think so. As we talked about with Rob Demovsky, some strong David Bakhtiari vibes.
Didn't I just say that on Tuesday?
I don't remember. Did we do a show on I can't even remember what we talked about. It's such a weird week. But
what is today, Thursday?
Today is Friday. Both in the NFL and on our show, oddly enough, which hasn't always been the case. But if you're not going to have Jaire against Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, now TJ Hawkinson is back in the mix. Obviously, he was not in the first game. We saw Jordan Addison cook Corey Ballantyne in that first game.
I'll tell you what. Hey, Jason, I saw a little stat on my little Twitter expedition, and old Stokey's numbers look pretty good the last couple games. His completion percentage against the pass breakups. Is it possible 2-1 is back? Because his play is back the last couple weeks. And he will be tested in a big way Sunday. You best believe that.
Yeah. That's why I am picking that conglomerate of defensive backs. Valentine, Stokey, Keyshawn Nixon, etc. Because, again, another week without... Look, I don't want to go back into the jaw thing, but as I said to Hunter before you got here, if there was one game on the schedule that you would have thought, oh, he'll be back for this would be it. Against Justin Jefferson. Instead... Oh, you were actually drinking. I didn't know you were. I thought you were going to make a sound effect. Yeah. Okay.
That's the beauty of the loud cup.
You don't know what to expect. Yeah, it's okay. Next.
The Green Bay Packers beat the Minnesota Vikings on Sunday if
Sam Darnold needs to be sacked, and sacked in a big way. If Sam Darnold sits back there, their receivers, they're better than our defensive backs as a unit. I think they're a tough matchup for every team in the league. You take Ja out of the equation, which unfortunately has been the case for a big chunk of the year. I just raved about Stokey's play. Who was he playing against? Olave? No. So that's where I need to see everything in unison, but it best be defensively. You better rattle Darnold, because if you don't, I want him being Whoopi Goldberg and Demi Moore. He better be back to seeing ghosts. And if he's not, I don't think Green Bay's beating Minnesota. If it isn't a case of, I don't know where I'm seeing pressure come from, I don't know what's hitting me, just like, who was the bad dude in that when he's flying up through walls and punching Patrick Swayze? Swayze didn't care. He didn't care at that point. You better That's not Sam Darnold. Darnold's going to care, and he's going to see ghosts. He's admitted to seeing ghosts. It's time for him to see some Christmas ghosts like Ebenezer Scrooge did. And if he doesn't do that, Green Bay ain't beating him.
I am going to say that because of my opinion of the matchup with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and because I am still not convinced against a good offensive line, even without your guy Darisaw. I mean, they brought in Cam Robinson, and he's been good, right? Not great, not Darisaw good, but all right. I don't think they're going to generate – I do not think that they've unlocked the pass rush mystery. So I think they're going to get into a shootout. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And so if the Packers can outscore them, which means Jordan Love having to have one of those, wow, he is special type games, as opposed to Josh Jacobs carrying the load and him having to make a handful of plays type of games. So I think this could be a shootout. And if Jordan Love plays like the 4 touchdowns, no picks guy that he has been in a number of games in the first year and 3 quarters that he's played, then that's how they win this football game. That's my prediction.
Tausch, does it matter if the pass rush is through a lot of blitzing, or do you want it from the front 4 and that's it, so everyone else is back in coverage?
So I don't want to say it all has to be from the front 4, but it better predominantly be, because as you know, Hunter, doing all your prep mania, and if you have to bring more, that puts your guys on an island more, and you got big boy wideouts up in Minneapolis. So do I want to see a bunch of man-to-man, let's check out J-Jets versus Valentine, or Stokes? I don't want to see that. I want to see safety help, and I want to see this being the deal. So, yes. Hey, I've been hearing about Cox, man. He's been, I saw him in scout team dominating people. He's doing this again. Hey, I'm on board. All right, great. Now let's see you do it against O'Neal and Robinson. And if you do, tip that cap. But yes, I think Jason's right in the fact that this is going to need to be a 4 down. Let's get after it. Occasionally, we bring Keyshawn off the edge and we maybe simulate some stuff. But it's got to be our 4 are going to beat your 5. And it has to happen more often than not. And if it doesn't, that narrative that we've been talking about all year is, the pass rush is fine when they play bad teams. Texans, Saints, Bears. How is it when we play the Eagles and Lions? You know what? It wasn't good. How is it going to be against Minnesota? Another really good offensive line. They need to answer the bell, Hunter. And if they don't, Jason's going to be right. I think you're going to see a shootout, because if you don't get after Darnold and what they do with that receiving core and tight end, it's going to be a long day.
Well, if Brenton Cox has a big day rushing the passer, Tausch not only will tip the cap, he'll also toast him with a Coors Light with the Blue Mountains lit up like a Christmas tree.
It's been nice over the holidays, sitting back, roasting marshmallows, roasting chestnuts, and drinking a cold Coors Light brewed with a 3-step cold process, cold lager, cold filtered, and it's cold packaged, so it's made to chill. Born in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado in 1978, Coors Light is refreshing. It is crisp. It's only 102 calories. That's why it is Coors Light in my hand when I need a moment to chill. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Our Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week are next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Hi, this is Wayne Larrabee for Steinhoffels. Steinhoffels is partnering with Special Spaces Wisconsin and the Green Bay Packers to create dream bedrooms for children battling cancer all across Wisconsin. This season, every time the Packers make a field goal, Steinhoffels will donate $1,000 to Special Spaces Wisconsin. Steinhoffels has been Wisconsin's furniture and mattress leader since 1934, is 100% employee-owned, and is a proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
Ho, ho, my back.
Santa?
Ho, ho, Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. For a truck that gets the job done, drive a 2024 Chevrolet Silverado EV work truck from Zimbrick Chevrolet. 393-mile range, over 12,000-pound towing capacity, 510 horsepower. Save $12,500 with 0% APR for 60 months to well-qualified buyers through GM Financial. Monthly payments equal $1,667 per $1,000 financed. Offer ends January 2nd. Zimbrick Chevrolet, East Madison, Sun Prairie, and ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
The GRB Rays have established themselves as one of the top baseball programs in the Midwest and the country. GRB Academy offers training programs for players of all ages and skill levels. Learn from some of the best baseball coaches in the area and find the program that fits your training goals and your schedule. Spots are filling up fast, so visit grbacademy.com to sign up now. That's grbacademy.com. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN.
Now we all are on holiday. Now we're all ready to celebrate. Having a ball, we can't hardly wait. Happy Christmas, everybody.
We'll get to our Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week in a second. Tausch, did you, while you were with your family celebrating the holiday, did you happen to catch any of the 6-3 thriller that was on Thursday Night Football last night?
No, but I did see some of the Motor City Bowl game, which there were some times I thought that that's where we would be going. And I ain't going to lie to you, I ain't mad we didn't go, if that makes sense. The college overtime is incredibly idiotic. I don't think I can ever have my mind changed, and I watched that game last night, and I thought, man, am I right, because it is dumb. First off, what are we doing not going for two the first time to end the game or win or lose? He's kicking the extra point like it was an amazing deal. But, yes, the Bears stink. I was correct in my assessment early in the season about the Chicago Bears, and Seattle's not much better.
I see you're right. I see Sylvie is back on his backyard swing. on social media.
He needs a hammock. He needs more than that.
Things have not gone well for our guy and for our Bears fan teammates at ESPN Chicago. But things have gone very well for Tausch and for Jesse, not so much for me, although Luke Musgrave did at least play last week. Time now for the Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week.
Don't sleep, you gotta stay up.
Hey there, sleepyhead. Wakey, wakey.
Okay, campers, rise and shine.
It's time for the Steinhoffel Sleepers of the Week on Wilde And Tausch.
All right, before we start, since Jesse is technically not off today, he is producing a different program. Is there going to be some sort of controversy because he's not here to put his Sleeper of the Week selection in? Does he get to do it via the show sheet? What is the rule here? Hunter, I'm going to let you decide.
Here's what he has to do. After we pick ours, he needs to go on social media on the Wilde And Tausch Twitter feed and enter his Steinhoffler to be eligible. I think that's a fair. He can't just, I'm going to put the. No. We get your working. You're going to be on Twitter later. Jump on, put it in there, and we're good. But no, he doesn't get to enter something via a show sheet that our analytics firm doesn't have access to. No.
Okay. Fair enough.
Fair.
All right, Hunter, you get to
Quick
play
question
too.
before.
Yeah.
Quick question: is Watson going to play?
My intuition, my gut, as Matt LaFleur has been talking about a lot lately. Not my specific gut, more his gut. My gut says no.
Okay. Well, then that changes my mindset.
Okay. Well, you get to pick first there, old boy. So who you got?
All right, old boy. So the easy thing would be to say, Tay Wicks. Well, Tay Wicks is now elevated. So I don't even know if he's actually a sleeper. He had a tutter last week. I'm going to go with my guy. He's a big play wideout. He seems to make big plays in playoff games. This is a pseudo playoff game for a lot of it. Not for me, but I feel like a lot of people are. I'm going Bo Melton. Bo Melton, my Steinhoffel sleeper of the week. I love it. I think he's physical at the point. He's a big play. He's going to catch a tutter.
100-yard game against these guys last year.
Yeah, he's due to emerge. I'm going to go Bo Melton.
That seems like a great choice, Tausch.
Thank you.
So
Thank
great
you.
that I'm sure Jesse picked him as well, and now we'll have to pick someone else. All right, Hunter, Bo Melton is off the board. Who would you like?
I'm going to go the other side of the ball. I'm going to go with Carrington Valentine. I don't know. This is going to sound a little weird, but I think Jeff Hafley's going to dial something up to confuse Sam Darnold, and Valentine's going to get a pick off of that. I don't know if it's because he actually beats Justin Jefferson, but more that Darnold gets confused, Valentine's going to get a pick in this game. So I like him.
Ooh, bold. I like it. Tausch,
good pick.
Right, before I give mine, what do you think? You mentioned Eric Stokes a moment ago. How equipped do you think the Packers are to handle this wide receiver group without again, I'm not saying that I fully expected Jaire back. I just thought this would be the game that if he was coming back, he'd come back for. And now it sure looks like I'm wrong.
I don't think they're well equipped.
Okay. I appreciate your honesty. Right? I mean, I don't know how you don't.
Well, Jason, you're talking about, for as much as we want to give Sam Darnold and Kevin O'Connell their flowers, and they deserve it, I have not given them. I have been probably unfair to Minnesota this year. I'm very honest about it. I just don't like the Vikings, period. I'm biased. I respect that they've gotten to 13 wins. I would have never guessed it. I would have been way wrong. I thought they're going to max out at maybe 9 or 10 wins. They found ways to win close games. Their wideouts are studs. They cause everybody problems. So this is going to be, if Darnold has time, they're going to carve us up. But I don't know if they'll have time. I think this pass rush is better than a lot of people think. And so we'll find out on that end. But if it is how are they going to match up if they have to cover for a while, I think the answer is poor. That's what I think.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I am going to take someone on the defensive side of the ball as well, it will not be Edgerrin Cooper. We can agree that even though he's not a full-time player, Edgerrin Cooper probably not valid for this.
He's too good.
But I'm going to take Keyshawn Nixon. They're going to need him to not only play at a high level, and again, they're indoors, so maybe he doesn't even get a chance at a return. But in games like this, if you can pop a big return, that is a big momentum shifter. So I'm going to take Keyshawn Nixon as my Steinhafels sleeper of the week. Brought to you, of course, by Steinhafels. And right now, first of all, the holiday season is still sort of going on, but we're obviously past Christmas. So now's the time to save on all holiday decor at Steinhafels. You can save 60%. And it's time to sparkle and put a little jingle in your living with those great deals. And don't miss our biggest year-end closeouts. Save up to $1,200. Doesn't matter on what. Is it on a sofa? Is it on a bedroom set? Is it on bar stools? Is it on your new dining room set? Everything is on sale in the biggest year-end closeouts of the year. So this is the time to get a great deal at Steinhafels. And don't forget, too, when you're watching the game on Sunday, be rooting for those field goals. I know you want touchdowns, but every time the Packers make a field goal, that is $1,000 from Steinhafels to Special Spaces. Wisconsin Steinhafels has been your furniture and mattress leader since 1934. They are 100% employee-owned and a proud partner of the Green Bay Packers. We need to play trivia next. Hunter, did you get to do this, or did Jesse handle it?
I did not get to do this. Again, I feel as though I have been banned since whatever my last infraction was.
Kind of shadow banned at this point, right?
Yeah. Nothing officially has been said, but it's
I heard Jesse say
quiet.
that you're suspended till the new year. So I don't think there's anything shadow banned about it. We've been pretty blunt.
I don't know.
He fired you.
I thought that
I do.
I'm pretty sure that suspension lapsed. Like, how many times can one guy get suspended?
I guess it's just like lottery tickets. I guess maybe you're right. Maybe there's like a week long, and then that's at the end of it.
Well, it doesn't matter because you didn't do the trivia. The trivia category today, a Jesse Nelson special, Wisconsin-Minnesota Border Geography Friday.
Oh, I love
That's a mouthful. These two teams, one has 13 wins, one has 11 wins. So let's split the difference. Let's take caller 12, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 12 plays Wilde and Tausch Trivia. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here, wishing you and your loved ones a happy holiday season from Grassland Dairy. As you gather with friends and family to celebrate the season, remember that no holiday spread is complete without the pure and delicious taste of Grassland butter on your table. For toast, pancakes, dinner rolls, and everything in between, Grassland butter is the gift that keeps on giving. Grassland Dairy again extends a huge thank you to all of the hardworking dairy farmers across the state of Wisconsin. Without them producing such high-quality ingredients, Grassland would not be able to deliver that pure and delicious flavor on your table that we've all come to know and love. Thank you, farmers, and thank you, Wisconsin, from Grassland Dairy. Butter better with better butter. Since 1904, there's been no better product and no better taste than Grassland butter. Happy holidays from Grassland Dairy, crafting butter for 5 generations.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute is brought to you by The Jump Around. Don't miss new episodes of this exclusive digital show talking all things Wisconsin sports, premiering every Thursday at 12:30, streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Wisconsin men's basketball off through the new year. They'll have Iowa to tip off 2025. Senior Max Klusman on the team's identity moving into conference play, believing they can hang with the best of the best.
I don't think we wow anybody athletically, or maybe not pass the eye test, as some would like to say. At the end of the day, you got a whole group of 17 guys that are going to come out compete at a really high level, and we're going to, swing the hardest we can swing each and every night. We're going to try to make your life difficult. We're going to, come at you, keep coming at you, throwing haymakers, and, we're relentless, and we just won't give up.
If you're not getting windows from Santa, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. PellaWI.com.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Alex Strofe. The holidays are here, and there is no better way to celebrate than with the delicious brandy or whiskey from Door County Distillery. It's the holidays. People are coming over. You're mixing up old fashions. No better way to do it than with the cherry brandy from Door County Distillery, made with local Door County cherries, or the 27-time gold medal award-winning single malt whiskey. No matter if you want your brandy old-fashioned or your whiskey old-fashioned, everybody's pleased with Door County Distillery. DoorCountyDistillery.com.
If you're looking for a special piece of jewelry for any occasion, Condon Jewelers is always there for you. Condon Jewelers has the best selection of jewelry you'll ever find and guaranteed to have the lowest prices in the Madison area. Free shipping is always available. Visit CondonJeweler.com or call 241-3406 and ask for Jim, the owner, who's at the store every day. Shop locally. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Hunter Vaughn. ESPN Madison and Zimbrick Honda are celebrating the area's best high school sports stories with the Game Changers of the Month. Follow ESPN Madison on social media to see teams making an impact in their community. Nominate your local team today at ESPNMadisonGameChangers.com.
Wilde And Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at Tito'sVodka.com.
Well, this just seems wrong. We can't have Mike, the wedding DJ, be the contestant when Jesse's not here, given their close connection and everything that Jesse's learning from him, having lunch with him and stuff, right?
Yeah.
I guess we'll have to do it. And see, these are the things that Jesse misses out on by not being on the show. It is time for trivia. Let's welcome in Mike, the wedding DJ. Mike, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, belated happy holidays.
You going to be able to soldier on without Jesse as part of the show today?
Well, I think that's why I got in. I haven't been in a month. I just keep missing by one caller every time. I think Jesse sees my number. Like, I don't want him on the show. I'm going to say he's the one caller. I think there might be some nefarious stuff going on. I don't know.
Malfeasance.
Yeah, malfeasance. Maybe a little coincidental, potentially. Yeah.
Yes.
All right, well, you got through today. The trivia category, Tausch is going to play along, so I'll handle the questions. Is Wisconsin-Minnesota Border Geography Friday? And question number one is this. Which of these landforms is the primary indicator of the border between Minnesota and Wisconsin? Is it the Mississippi River, the
Oh, I believe we lost Jason there, so I'll keep the questions going here for you guys. Again, which of these landforms is the primary indicator between Minnesota and Wisconsin? Is it the Mississippi River, the Minnesota Canyon, or the Minnesota Vikings empty Super Bowl trophy cabinet?
Oh, burn.
Nice. I only let that go because I wanted to hear what C was going to be because the answer is obviously A, but I love C the most.
Both are fun.
That is correct. Question number 2. Longitudinally, and I can't. God. There we go. Couldn't find the button. Longitudinally, which of these Wisconsin-Minnesota border cities is located farthest west? Is it River Falls, Wisconsin, Lake City, Minnesota, or Alma, Wisconsin?
I'm going to take the one in Minnesota, I'm guessing. I don't know. I don't ever go that way. Lake City, Minnesota, I'm going to guess.
It's got to be River Falls, right?
It is. It is River Falls, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Our final question, located just outside of Cassville, which of these state parks spanning 756 acres is named after Wisconsin's first governor? Is it Nelson Dewey State Park, Pettibone State Park, or Perot State Park?
I have no clue. I know we had Governor Nelson, but I don't know if he was the first one. I'm going to guess C.
I think it's A.
Tausch was correct. It was A, Nelson Dewey State Park.
Oh, see, I should have gone my first instinct.
Yeah, you always trust your gut like LaFleur does and the 565 analytics firm. I'm surprised, Jesse and Hunter, you didn't. The great coach up in Cuba City, Pettigrew, Jerry Pettigrew National Park, or State National, whatever you want to call it. I thought instead of Pettibone, he would have went Pettigrew.
I don't know what I missed while we had a brief internet outage here in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
A couple of wrong answers from my guy.
So, Mike, you got one right for what I'm gathering?
Yeah, but I think we have to redo it now that you're back, right? I think you should have 2 new questions.
That's fair.
For sure, yeah. I'll write up 2 quick questions right here now that I've got access to the internet again. What a day this has been. Hey, I'm sorry, you only got, apparently, 1 right. That means you only got 2 entries. But the beauty of it is there were 2 days we didn't have a show. I don't think we had anyone on Monday or Tuesday really crush it on trivia. So still opportunity to win the drawing with your 2 entries for an ESPN Wisconsin prize pack. Sorry I missed you, Mike, but we appreciate your loyalty to the show, buddy. Thanks.
Thank you. Miss Jesse, too. Thanks, Jesse.
Well, no, let's not go that far.
Jesse call out. Like that.
Yeah.
Had one lunch, and those guys are best friends.
They are, and if Jesse were here, we would say, hey, pour me in, coach, with some more trivia because you did such a great job with those. No?
Tito's handmade vodka over the holidays on game day. Yeah. Pour me in, coach, from a seat in the stands to the best seat on the couch. Root for your favorite team with your favorite team spirit. Stack a spicy bloody. Salt the rim of a Tito Rita, or take home a Tito's in whatever your heart desires. I like cranberry juice around this time of year. That's my favorite, but you call it. You're calling the game. You change up your roster or wash that lucky jersey. Just make sure Tito's is your first-round bottle pick. Whose house? Tito's house. Find cocktail recipes for every fan at Tito'sVodka.com. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
We'll talk more about Packers-Vikings, and we'll get to the weekend preview, which, spoiler alert, this game is probably the only really, truly good game on the schedule in the NFL, and the Packers are in it. We'll kick off the 11 o'clock hour in 2 minutes, so stick around. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin, the ESPN app, and Wisconsin On Demand.
LabCorp Clinical Trials is changing to a new name, Fortrea. While the name may be different, Fortrea combines decades of great experience and professionalism with new opportunities for clinical trial participation. It's more than a mission and more than a new name. Fortrea is dedicated to moving healthcare forward. To learn more about the future of healthcare and upcoming clinical trials, visit us at FortreaClinicalTrials.com. That's FORTREA clinicaltrials.com.
Hey, this is former Badger Brad Norton.
It's a fake.
execution.
You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX, Monona, Madison.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
What is up, Madison? I'm Hunter Vaughn. Your Sports Center update is brought to you by Green Bay Game Day. As the push for the playoffs continues, count down the final 3 hours to kick off with Green Bay Game Day on 100.5 ESPN and live video streaming on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. And speaking of counting down towards the kickoff, the Packers get closer and closer to their road matchup with the Minnesota Vikings. Packers head coach Matt LaFleur spoke to the media yesterday, and he doesn't expect to see Jaire Alexander against the Vikings.
I'd say probably not.
What's standing in the way?
His knee. He's limited. His knee.
Is it just not reacting like you want it to, or?
I don't know. I'm not a medical guy. I just go by what I see and what they tell me.
Kickoff is set for 3:25 up in Minnesota. ESPN Bet has the Vikings as 1-point home favorites in that one. And, of course, you can stay up to date on all things green and gold related over at ESPNWisconsin.com. Hour 3 of Wilde And Tausch starts right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde And Tausch will include the weekend preview, headlines, Whoa, Hunter, and Feel Good Friday as we close out every day, every Friday, and every week. Tausch, I'm working on a Sunday story. I know you love to not read those. And what it's about is the two coaches. They have never actually worked together. What is weird is that Kevin O'Connell has held several of the jobs that Matt LaFleur held. He was Washington's quarterbacks coach, like Matt LaFleur once was. He was the Rams offensive coordinator under Sean McVay, like Matt LaFleur once was. They both, in my opinion, should be in the conversation, although I think Kevin O'Connell has a better argument, for Coach of the Year. They both have a way with players in today's era that seems to really work. Who's the better coach?
Ooh, great question, Jason.
Because here's the thing, and again, we've dinged Matt LaFleur for having Aaron Rodgers, and now Jordan Love has been very good, but hey, look what he did with Malik Willis, for those of you that like to point that out. Now, look at what Kevin O'Connell has done. Look what, and I understand he tore his Achilles last year, but look what Kirk Cousins did with Kevin O'Connell and what he's done without Kevin O'Connell. Look at what Sam Darnold has done with Kevin O'Connell and what he did without Kevin O'Connell. So we agree both of them are really good coaches. Neither one has won a Super Bowl. One is a little earlier in his career. Frankly, if they don't lose Kirk Cousins last year to the Achilles, I'm thinking Kevin O'Connell might have been challenging the best record in the first 3 years as a head coach that Matt LaFleur had there for a while. Who are you picking, and how close is it?
So I think I look at it, and I'm going to pick Matt LaFleur because he's been around longer, he's had more success. And in fairness, Kevin O'Connell deserves, and I am not going to fight anybody that says Kevin O'Connell because of what they've asked him to do.
Mm-hmm.
But this has been Matt LaFleur's finest coaching job by far this season. You could say last year, I thought last year, the beginning part, I love the fact that they withstood and battled through, but the beginning part of last year was bad news bears.
Right.
And I think until he accepted the expectations in Green Bay, it almost felt like last year it was kind of like all of these excuses. Well, it's young and all this. And it was all valid, by the way, but nobody cares. I think he finally just came to the conclusion, nobody cares. We got to go find a way to win, and he did. This season, with all of the 3 games that really he did not have his starting quarterback, and now there's more expectations to it, this has been a great season of coaching by Matt LaFleur. His scheming and how he's done things, it has not been perfect by any stretch.
Mm-hmm.
If you're asking me just this year, I'm voting O'Connell. But I have to look at the full body of what we've seen. And in that case, I give Matt LaFleur the credit because he's been doing it longer and he's had success in the postseason, not the ultimate success. But I think he has been a really good NFL coach, and I lean on the fact that he's done it longer, and that's why I would give it to him over O'Connell.
And it also, for our friends at ESPN 1000 in Chicago, it highlights how important it is, once again, for them to get that hire right. Because whatever you think of the Dan Campbell risky, kneecap-biting approach, he has proven to be a good NFL head coach. Now, if he loses Ben Johnson and Ben Johnson becomes the coach of the Bears, I'm very curious to see what that means for that Lions offense. But there's a reason why there's 3 good teams with really good records in this division, and it's because there's 3 pretty darn good head football coaches on those 3 teams.
Mm-hmm.
Now that we've used that time,
I'll say this. If I'm Kevin Warren and watching what's going on with Chicago, right now, and Brian Gutekunst, you forget about this for a second, he is not the overseer of the entire operation. Do I think he wants that at some point in his life? I do. If I'm Kevin Warren, I go up and I say to Green Bay, I'll give you a first-round pick for Brian Gutekunst. That's what I'm doing. And if I'm the Packers, I'm telling them to kick rocks. But I want to get planted in Goody's head. Hey, before you sign a big fat extension, we want you here. We need you here. And by the way, if Goody's looking and say, I want the overarching feel, I want to run everything, he doesn't have that in Green Bay. They're going to have a new owner coming up in July. Because it's becoming very clear that the Bears are a hot mess and don't know what the hell they're doing. I'm not saying Goody wants this, but I guarantee one thing, Goody wants more power than he's got. Because he told you that.
That was going to be my follow-up question. If you're Goody, let's say the Bears, first of all, this again goes to, I don't know how your brain works, but I'm glad it works the way it does. Because you could have given me 1,000 years. I would have never thought, you know what the Bears should do? They should trade for Brian Gutekunst.
They want to get Kyle Shanahan. Well, that's cute. Great. You want to weaken your opponent? And I don't even know how this whole process works. But Goody does not have full control. The Bears need somebody that knows what the hell they're doing. And Brian Gutekunst knows what he's doing. I think it would. What do the Packers do? Do they then say, all right, Goody, we're going to give you full authority? Like, if I'm the Bears, this is a psyop deal. Like, even if this doesn't work, I don't know what the hell's going on with Green Bay. We'll get those guys rattled a little bit.
Malfeasance.
And let me ask you this, Jason, before you move on. Does Goody want to have full control of all football deals? Do you think he would want to have the same power Ron Wolf had with the G&G?
Of course he does. Of course he does. That's what he thought he was signing up for. Now, I would say that it seems that he and Matt LaFleur work together fine, and largely because he just doesn't really confer with Matt LaFleur, from what I can tell, on personnel matters. But maybe he does. Maybe I'm just wrong about that. So, for all intents and purposes, he has control over what he cares most about, which is the 53-man roster. But
you know what people that have a little control want?
They want more.
You know what people with a lot of money want?
Even more.
Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more.
So they manipulate the election. My question would be this.
You talking about George Soros? You talking about Elon Musk? I don't know. Which one do you go? That's another.
I think you know who I'm talking about. So here's my question: if you're Goody, do you want it with the Bears? Like, this is a fun idea. It's never going to happen. It's a great conversation starter, though, which you must be great at parties, especially when you have your family in town. But I'm curious, especially with your brothers involved. I can only imagine. But
we got a lot of stuff.
If you're Goody. Are you like, no, I want more power, but I don't want it with you knuckleheads? Because there are limits to even what I'm
Let me say this. Publicly, 100%. Privately, he'd eat that up. He's out in his beer cooler garage. He's probably like, all right. Because, listen, you can say all you want, and he has been fantastic here. You know there's nobody a bigger Goody stan than Old T.
No, there isn't. Not even his wife.
New ownership or new leadership with Green Bay. And if the Bears come call, if I'm Goody, I'm looking at it like I don't want to. There's just a lot there. If I'm the Bears, I'm doing this tomorrow. And if I'm the Packers, I'm saying we got to make sure I don't know what, because they don't announce what these contracts look like.
Correct.
And how they extend. I have no idea how long or how much Goody's being paid. But I know this, Goody's going to want more money, just like all the players that negotiate with him want more money. This would be a pretty good time if I'm his agent. You float that out there. Well, listen, Florio floats all this stuff out there with with whatever proof he's got.
Adam Schefter seems to enjoy that too.
I want Goody to be the GM of the Packers as long as I'm doing this show. That's what I want.
So for another 20 years or so.
I don't know where Goody's head's at, and this is a heck of a runway, but he does not have all of the authority that he wants. We all know that. Waddle, Sylvie, if I'm you guys on air today after that debacle of a performance.
Oh, it's a debacle.
I would be saying trade a first-round pick and get Brian Gutekunst to just give him the keys to the whole operation and let him go. And you know what? If you want to bring Mark Murphy with you to learn how to build a stadium and to do a Titletown district down there, there ain't no age limits on that. Lord knows Virginia McCaskey's been doing it. She's 103.
Time now for the weekend preview.
That help sucks. What's next?
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to go a little bit off script from what Jesse put on this because I'm not a big fan of the NFL slate this weekend.
Hey, boys, Hunter, did you talk about this yet? Netflix football. What did you guys think?
We didn't talk about that. I was going to bring it up on Whoa Hunter.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Well, then we'll wait. That's good.
Yeah.
Tease it.
We're going to start on Saturday with a bunch of bowl games in college football because I don't really care about any of the Saturday games for the NFL. Starting at 11 o'clock, Boston College, Nebraska, Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl on ABC. Then at okay, how about at 2:30, number 18 Iowa State and number 13 Miami in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. One last one on Saturday, number 17 BYU, number 23 Colorado in the Valero Alamo Bowl.
I'm intrigued by that one. They're all playing. Colorado's insuring all their guys to play. That one I'm in tune with. Pour me in, coach.
And then on to NFL, 12 o'clock on CBS, Jets at Bills. 12 o'clock on Fox, Cowboys at Eagles. And then the Sunday night game on NBC, Falcons at Commanders.
A Falcons game is intriguing because there's a good chance that's who Green Bay could play.
There is a chance of that, yes.
That's what I'm intrigued by. But I think what's going to happen, Green Bay's going to have to go to L.A., and that'll be a sexy matchup. That'll be a Sunday night game out in L.A. That's what I think is going to end up happening. 3 versus 6.
Interesting.
And the winner is?
I need to see how Christian Watson's doing. There are a lot of things I need to see before I make that proclamation.
All right. As much as I love bowl games, I do not love. I do not love Colorado. I've got little to no use for the Coach Prime realm.
What
not
don't
a
you
fan.
like about Prime?
So then hate watch it. Cheer for BYU.
Love the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Love the Cougars.
No, you don't.
No, my first
not an
girlfriend was a Mormon. Come on now.
Is that right?
Yeah, I like that story.
Now, could she have more? Could she have more than one boyfriend then too, or how does that work?
That's not how that goes. Other way around.
Well,
no. Okay.
I don't know how that. I don't know. Are you now an expert on the Church of Latter-day Saints, Hunter?
I just don't think there's brother husbands. I'm pretty sure it's just sister wives.
They don't have that either. There's a sect. All right. Now, I'm not going to go down this road. It's a long time ago. But that said, I am intrigued by, and I won't watch Enigma, but every time the Jets are being shown in my local area, I'm not going onto my NFL Plus subscription to go watch that out-of-market game. I'm not willing to put forth that effort. But Aaron Rodgers has the clock is ticking on his time in New York, and I want to see how it ends. I am very intrigued by that, much more than the documentary. So that game piques my interest. That Iowa State game piques my interest. Those are two teams
I'm
that
sure it does. I'm sure you're intrigued.
Well, what about a bonus game?
Hold up a second, Hunter.
Okay.
Name me 3 Cyclones.
Why? Now, see, I didn't say I was a Cyclones
You just
fan.
said you're intrigued by the game.
Right, because
You
it's
can name me
two
3?
top 20
Yeah.
teams. It's not,
Name me, okay. Name me 2.
T.J. Otzelberger, the coach of the basketball team.
Got him.
You're so full of blah.
How many games,
I'm intrigued.
How
You don't
many
even know who
games-
the hell's
How
there.
many games do you watch where you know any of the players?
A bunch.
Really? You watch a random college game, Alabama, Texas, and you know they're too deep?
I didn't say I know there. I asked for 2 players, not 2 deeps. Exactly.
How about a bonus
Next.
game on the
I
Saturday
love this
slate?
Iowa State team.
I did
Can
not
you
say
name me anybody?
I love this Iowa State team.
You
I
just said
I'm
you're intrigued.
Miami has the former Oregon coach. They're both top 15 teams. I'm intrigued by that game. If I'm going to watch a bowl game, that would be theoretically a good game.
Okay, how about
Hey, why don't you take the rest of the show off, huh?
Jason Cyclone, they call him. The old Cyclone. Just whipping around. Can't wait to see the Gasparilla Bowl with the Cyclones playing in it. Get the blank out of here.
it's the Pop-Tart Bowl, be respectful, and a bonus bowl
Ooh,
game
I like
for you.
that. They got a toaster that they're running
Yeah.
with that. That'll be
Miami, Ohio, Colorado State on the CW network in the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. That's the best bowl game, right?
No.
Name
Colorado
2 players
State?
for either of those teams.
I just said I don't. I have no
Their quarterback
interest. I
is
was
like
gonna get
Nicolaus or something like that. He's got a hyphenated name. He's a law firm.
I was going to.
The quarterback is Gruber. Steven Gruber.
All right.
I'm
not
sorry, you were going to
interested,
comment on that Snoop
I
Dogg?
was going to blow the horn. A little yellow horn, but I decided
You wouldn't watch it just to say you watched the bowl game on the CW network and the Snoop Dogg Bowl.
You think I give 2 rips about the CW network and Snoop Dogg? Like Snoop Dogg, I'd love to have went to the Pato Sportsbook when he was down there. That I would have loved to have done.
Mr.
Me and
Window.
Otzelberger from Iowa State. We'd have went down there. And
We love
watched
TJ. Good coach. Tight shirts. So, Tausch, you missed your window to see Snoop Dogg. Don't miss your window to tell us one more time about Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Well, ensure your home remains comfortable before we reach that brutal post-holiday winter, and Santa Claus did a great job. Got everything done that he needed to. His elves, not so much. Too many options and customizations for those poor little elves to build the Pella windows. So instead of going through the big red fella, take advantage of this deal from Pella. Get as low as $19 per window, $81 per patio door per month. Certain restrictions do apply. Offer ends on New Year's Eve. Visit PellaWI.com to learn more.
Headlines, which has come under fire from more than just me recently.
Who else?
People miss singing. They miss singing. I'm just telling you that they miss the singing. Although the dogs last week were cute as a button. Headlines presented by Fleet Farm, which I already told you about. So we'll hear about Prize Picks a little bit later. Headlines are next. It's Wilde And Tausch.
This is Wilde And Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Call Gina Della from Pella today, 855-PELLA-WI, and online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Mark Tauscher here for Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie. Well, who needs a sleigh or reindeer when you can make this holiday season EV at Zimbrick Chevy? Zimbrick Chevrolet has all kinds of deals on electric vehicles going on right now. Save $12,500 on a 2024 Chevy Silverado EV 3WT. This truck gets the job done. It has a 393-mile range to go with a 12,500-pound towing capacity. There are 5 to choose from, so stop in, check them out. Zimbrick Chevrolet also has special offers this holiday season on a 2024 Chevy Equinox EV and a 2024 Chevy Blazer EV, including 0% APR for each. Well, maybe leasing is the way you want to go. Zimbrick Chevrolet also has great leases on EVs. Check out ZimbrickChevrolet.com to see all of their current inventory and all the new specials. And don't forget to stop in to see the amazing service team as you prepare for your holiday travel as well. Happy holidays from Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie, the name you can trust.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Hi, this is Dennis Semrau from Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania here on 100.5 ESPN. We're very excited to partner with UW Credit Union to help bring you even closer to the stories of great young student athletes. Each week, as part of this season of Prep Mania, we'll feature the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week. UW Credit Union is proud to support local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. And just like the fantastic student athletes we'll be telling you about all season, UW Credit Union's online banking also goes above and beyond with top-rated service and security that exceeds industry standards. UW Credit Union is here for you, presenting the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week. Learn more at uwcu.org.
Grassland Dairy is built by tradition right here in Wisconsin and sustained by innovation. Since 1904, the Wietrich family has worked with hundreds of dairy farmers to consistently produce the highest quality dairy products. Grassland's commitment to quality starts with the way their dairy farmers care for their cows and carries through every step of their innovative processing and delivery. They are proud to offer a wide range of reliable and nutritious dairy ingredients. Grassland Dairy is family owned in Wisconsin and has been crafting butter for 5 generations.
Every event tells a story, from the first impression to the final moments. Have someone guide your guests through every chapter the way you want the story told. Hi, it's Jeffrey from Celebrations Entertainment. With a strong presence, great voices, and an award-winning team, trust us to guide, direct, and inform your guests through all the different chapters of the day. For fun, memorable entertainment for any event, please visit us at celebrationsentertainment.com. That's celebrationsentertainment.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beveridge built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Wilde And Tausch on 100.5 ESPN is brought to you by Everlight Solar. Save money, save the planet. Everlight Solar.
Oh, yeah. I said, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells swing and jingle bells ring. Snowing and blowing our bushels of fun. Now the jingle hop has begun. Oh, jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells.
Packers-Vikings on Sunday at U.S. Bank Stadium. 11-4 Packers, 13-2 Minnesota Vikings in a showdown that, as Tausch correctly pointed out, I don't think is the end-all, be-all game. But for those of us that want to have a better idea of what's realistic to expect from the Green Bay Packers, I do think that this game in the playoffs, I think this game will help us have a little bit better idea, and I can't wait for it to be played. 3:25 kickoff
Jason,
on Fox.
If you're up there Sunday at 7 o'clock starting your article, and the Vikings beat us 31-17, you're going to say, no, wait till next year, Packer fans. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm going to say, I try not to write my opinion, although my opinion is that they're a year away. If this was a dress rehearsal for going on a postseason playoff run on the road, the Green Bay Packers were widely panned by critics. You know, like when there's a Broadway musical that's getting ready to open and they have like a sneak peek. Like I think there was one for, wasn't there one for like Spider-Man years ago and like the guy fell? It was bad. They can't, let me say this. I thought that they had a legitimate argument coming out of that Lions game and leaving Ford Field saying, hey, if we got to play these guys again, we believe we can beat them. If they get beat 31-17 and it's a game where they're never really truly battling back and forth, that is a bad omen, yes. Doesn't mean that they're cooked, but what would that... Let me ask you this as a player before we get to headlines. If that happens, how do players process that? Like, they're going to say all the right things and say, well, it doesn't matter. What matters is what we do in the playoffs. But does that put a dent in your confidence if you go up there and you don't play well against the team that, you know, you heard Rob Demovsky earlier in the show. He asked Jordan Love, because of their losses to the Lions, the Vikings, and the Eagles, how badly they need to win this one against a good team. And he said, Jordan said, badly. So they know about it. How would you process that as a player if you don't play well against these guys on Sunday?
You'll be disappointed, but I just think that this is not a group that's going to be lacking in confidence. And we all know playoffs are just different. So it's been a weird year in the fact that you could make the argument the only clunkers Green Bay played are at home versus Minnesota and Detroit. Minnesota, they had every opportunity to still win the game. You haven't had one. So I think this whole concept of, boy, we need to earn that confidence because to prove that we could beat, yeah, in an ideal world, but the playoffs, it's just such a different world. I don't think, especially if you go beat the Rams in the first round, all of a sudden you have a win in the playoffs, and you think we're going to be thinking back, well, we lost to the Vikings. We're playing Detroit or Philly, but I don't know. We lost to the Vikings a couple weeks ago. Nobody's going to give two rips at that. It's going to be such old news by then that it is important, I think, to go play well. But if Minnesota beats them by 10 points, is that all of a sudden going to tell me, Green Bay, that data point, Green Bay just can't beat anybody good? That's what a lot of us will be saying. I'm not going to be one of those guys.
The only thing I would ask
I think the locker room has a bigger belief than that.
Okay, but do young players, right? We've kept talking about how young guys, they don't know what they don't know, right? And when you're young, you think you're invincible, all those types of things. Is there any fragile? By the way, I dropped something off at UPS yesterday to ship. Anytime you have to say the word fragile, if you're of a certain age, are you required by law to say fragile? Must be Italian, like in A Christmas Story, because the woman working there did it, and I finished the line for her, and we had a moment.
That's fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Some good laughs. Do you remember Ralphie's brother's name? We had a trivia contest last night. Do you remember Ralphie's brother's name?
No,
he's all bundled up. He can't get off the ground.
I can't put my arms down. Yeah, no. Tommy?
Randy.
I knew it was an E. I knew it was something that ended in an E.
Okay. You're close.
So my question before we get to your headline, which is not from A Christmas Story, although it being Christmas week, that would have been an interesting approach to take.
God, you just keep throwing shrapnel at the boys.
What's great
They hear
is
ya.
that
I'm gonna tell you this.
is that you're able to
They hear
say
ya.
it's at them and not at you because you don't do much. So
I don't do
my
much.
criticism
I've been
isn't
very,
even
I've been very upfront about the fact I don't do hardly anything with this. I've told you that the entire
I
season.
appreciate your honesty. So my question before we get to headlines is, do you think that this could dent young guys' confidence if they didn't play well in this game? You don't think
It's
so?
more likely to dent veterans' confidence than it is young people's.
Okay. Let's get to headlines.
We've buried the lead.
But it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah, I've read the headlines.
It's time to predict this week's headlines.
It is time for headlines. If you have not already guessed the film, it is not A Christmas Story. It is not Elf. It is not the Santa Claus.
We should have had you do Elf. That would have been good with all those costumes, all those furries you got around the house.
A Muppet Christmas Carol with Animal.
Give Paul another big smile with you in that Elmo costume.
Here, without further ado, from the Academy, is this week's headline.
This is called a neuralizer. This eye here will isolate the electronic impulses in your brain, more specifically the ones of memory.
Why do you even ponder passing? I mean, you can take a knee and try a 56-yard field goal. This is not Detroit, man. This is the Super Bowl. Snap good, spot down. Walsh's kick is up, and it is no good. He missed it. Are you kidding me? The season can't end like that. I believe it was caught by Nate Poole. He's being mocked by his Cardinal teammates. They're Minnesota Vikings crying on the field.
What is going on here?
Excellent question. And the answer to your question is right here.
Who are you, really?
I am just a figment of your imagination.
Quarterback? Super Bowl? Quarterback? Super Bowl? Quarterback? Super Bowl? Quarterback?
Now
That's
that was really well done. Now that is your brother Patrick.
That is Patrick, correct.
I would also like to point out that Patrick did that scene without cue cards or a script that he was using to cheat off of. So
it's true. It's good.
I'll say this: there have been some good ones this year. Not as popular as the music, but still some well done pieces of cinema. That one is right up there. Well delivered.
And
Who are all
he
those
edited
little
in
Vikings?
those.
Yeah,
edited in those quotes. Like
Elite
some of them
level
are his
work by
kids.
him.
Some of them are some friends of their family. So they combined forces and to edit that in with the Paul Allen, which is some of my favorite audio. Just a really well done by the Academy.
And the film, of course, is Men in Black. Men in Black. So if you guessed Men in Black on our social media channels, there's that one angry, I don't want to say elf, he's an angry elf, like the guy that runs across the
Angry
table.
Dweller? Is he a dweller?
No, because it's not in YouTube either. It's on Facebook, but there's a fella who not only is not a fan of the headlines in the cinematic form, but also apparently doesn't know any of these movies. So, hey,
That's tough.
if you don't know...
Makes it trickier.
Got to get cultured.
If you don't know Pretty Woman, Rudy, Men in Black, hey, hand up. I never saw The Sixth Sense, so I didn't get that one. So everyone has their films that they've missed, but if you missed pretty much every movie that we did this year, that's
tough.
not an us problem. That's a you problem.
That's you've lived under a rock for the last 35 years.
All right, so...
And speaking of rocks, here's my headline. It rocks. Will Smith abduct loves aerial attack respected around the globe? Vikings will try, but it'll be a failed probe. 34-31 G&G. Pull it off up at U.S. Bank Stadium.
All right, that is headlines. I don't know. Does anybody else have a headline here?
I wasn't sure if you would call on me, so I did have one ready.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Hunter, we're so lucky
Hunter's
to have
good.
you on vacation. How about that, by the way?
It's so nice not having people mail it in when it comes to headlines. Jason's mailed it in outside of doing it the jobs that we've given him.
Assigned, forced.
Jesse's been kind of mailing it in. Now Hunter finds out last night he's producing and he's got a headline.
I feel like the build-up for this is going to be really disappointing, but Skol close, yet Skol far, 28-27, Vikings win. I think it's going to be a tight game, and I don't know.
Hey, am I the only one that was hoping for some sort of Gerald Ford reference?
I probably should have done that, huh?
It's just your signature, man.
I know.
I mean, you could have gone Walter Mondale or something if you wanted to. But
could have dropped a Spiro Agnew even. Get a little connected, some Nixon.
Isn't Hubert Humphrey? He is also a president.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, the projection on the number of Gerald Ford references in the headline was 0.5. I would have gone over or more. I would have lost. I would have lost. Just like Tausch sometimes loses on Prize Picks.
Not this weekend, or not, I guess it's the week, but Christmas Day was good for old T. Wembanyama, more. Joker, more.
Until he got hurt.
My account with Prize Picks, more, because we won. Prize Picks, the only real money daily fantasy platform that has injury insurance, so your lineups will stay in play. Even if one of your players gets injured, Prize Picks will keep your lineup live. And they also put their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. And when your picks hit, you'll get your money in as quick as 15 minutes like I just did, and you can win. Not 100, not 200, up to 1,000 times your money on Prize Picks during Merry Pixmas. Download the app today. Use that code WI. You get $50 instantly. I got to check if Riley has done that. He said he was going to. $5 lineup. You play it, you get $50 instantly. Again, that's code WI to get that done. Prize Picks.
Run
your
game. Whoa, Hunter is next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, driven by Zimbrick Chevrolet in Sun Prairie on 100.5 ESPN. See their full inventory at ZimbrickChevrolet.com.
Mark Tauscher here for Pizza Hut. Going back to the days when I was a kid participating in the Book It program, I've always loved Pizza Hut. Now I love picking up delicious food from Pizza Hut as I make new memories with my family. And one of the great things about Pizza Hut is the number 7, as in their $7 deal lovers menu. You can now enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites like pizza, boneless wings, pasta, melts, cheese sticks, desserts, and more for just $7 each when you buy 2 or more. Want a medium one-topping pizza? A chicken, bacon, Parmesan melt? Chocolate donut bites? Order them all for just $7 each. How about an order of 8-piece boneless wings? Chicken Alfredo pasta? $7 each. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com. The $7 deal lovers menu, only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
Oh, my back.
Santa?
Gina Dello from Pella. You've been a good girl this year.
Is that why you're in here building new windows?
Santa's doing OT.
Let me make a call.
Frighteningly fast Pella team at your service. Let us take it from here, Mr. Claus. And Gina, next time.
I know. Ask for a Pella gift card. Right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
PellaWI.com. Certain restrictions apply. Ends 12/31/2024.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott, Garrett, and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. It's my go-to spot for birthdays, anniversaries, and any special occasion. For quality jewelry and a great experience, choose Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. Stop at Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
Wisconsin.
And Madison.
It started with a prediction.
We'll go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
If you can't have a polite and civil exchange with someone when you're getting your coffee, you need time in social jail. You need to serve maybe 30 minutes, an hour. This needs to be on your record. We need to have different records that are attached to us as humans. One of them needs to be, can you behave correctly in public?
Unsportsmanlike, weekdays from 5 to 9 on 100.5 ESPN.
Starion Bank redefines local banking in Madison. As a community bank with a commitment to Dane County, experience a banking relationship where your goals are our priority. Enjoy competitive deposit and loan rates and a partnership that thrives on local engagement and support. Starion Bank is more than a full-service financial institution. It's a community pillar dedicated to your prosperity. Visit one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, offering banking, lending, mortgage, and cash management.
Wilde And Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
So Josh DiMaggio, before we get to Woe Hunter, Josh DiMaggio now communicating with us via text, instead of text messages, which he normally does. He's now replying to your tweets, which is new.
Yeah, I like that. Engagement.
And you responded to him, unlike most of our text exchanges. So in your Goody idea, because you put this out there, if I am the Bears, I offer the Packers a first-round pick for Goody to take over their organization and see what happens. And Joshy points out in this scenario, Goody would be agreeing to the terms of his own trade, or would the decision have to come down to Mark Murphy? Tausch, who has not thought this idea through entirely, responds, no clue. So
I don't know.
Theoretically, though, I don't think Goody could, I would think, agree to trade himself. I think that would be
I don't
higher
know
up.
the answer to that, though.
I'm pretty sure. I feel like I'm pretty sure I do know the answer.
So how did the Holmgren thing work out when he decided he was going to go take a bigger role with Seattle?
Different, because Ron Wolf was in charge of the coach. We were joking about this because Wes Hodkiewicz, my good friend who works for the Packers, loves Mark Murphy. Put out a post about him, and that's great, Wes. Both Demovsky and I are like, he barely even talks to us. And so,
well, in fairness, you completely questioned his credibility on all things football. Publicly.
This organization has won 2 Super Bowls in this era by having the general manager hire the coach. What makes you qualified to change that? Yeah, that didn't go over great, no doubt about it.
Well, definitely, I think it hit a nerve, for sure.
And then he proceeded to give us his resume, which anytime you're a resume guy, what have we said? But I would think that in this instance, because Goody is underneath the president, that the president would decide whether or not that happens or not.
Yeah, but Mark's leaving.
Yeah,
Mark's
so then
leaving
Ed
in
Policy,
6 months
and
or 7 months.
Can't wait for Ed Policy to take over. So, with this in mind, Hunter has some audio for us as part of Whoa Hunter.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa, Nelly!
On Wilde And Tausch.
Like Jason said, I do have some audio. Now, I did not watch I don't know how much Bears football I've really watched this year. Didn't realize that it had gotten so bad that the Bears were being booed at Soldier Field. But Caleb Williams, after the game, talking about that, and like a lot. He doesn't really know what to say, but here it is.
Yeah, I've only been here for, it's my first year, so, their frustrations, go way longer back than I've been here. My job is to go out there and win games, and we don't focus on outside noise. The fans are they're going to cheer and maybe boo sometimes, and you can't react to that. It's not something that we react to. We have a job to do, and sometimes you don't do so well on the job some days, and some days you're pretty consistent. Some days you play a great game. So
that, ladies and gentlemen, if you are a Bears fan, I'm looking at you, Jim Rutledge, and Sylvie, and our other friends. That is what I would like to call a missed opportunity at leadership. That was not a good reply. Wouldn't you agree, old boy?
No, I didn't like any part of it. Way too many no's and ums.
Well, that's less than ideal.
It's pretty easy to say. All you say is, yeah, none of us are happy with what's going on. We're going to get this thing turned around. I am all in on this. This is not what we're expecting to have happen. Changes are going to be made, and I cannot wait to be a big part of turning this thing around and bringing these fans, which are great, a championship. This is not it, and we are going to work everything to do it, and I'm going to talk to Kevin Warren about getting Goody in here with the first-round pick. That's what he should have said.
Are you kidding me? Their frustrations go back way longer than I've been here. Look, you are the face of the franchise. You got to be better here, man. Tausch just gave you look how easily that came out from you. And it's not because you're an analyst or because you played 11 years in the league. That's an easy answer.
It's because I played 11 years in the
league.
But you have to know how.
You would have been smart enough to give a better answer as a rookie.
For sure. Yeah, you got to keep it tight, too. And I mean, listen, man, I said when I first got started, I was an guy and all that, too. So I get that. And as the great Thomas Edison said, for all you Bear fans out there, many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. So take that for what it's worth from Tom Edison. Quote of the day.
What?
Tom Edison.
You just randomly have to jam in the quote of the day every once in a while. It's been like 3 months since you jammed in a quote.
It's been a while.
Now's the
Tom
time
Moore.
to do it?
Tom Moore. Great quotation.
Whoa, Nelly!
They brought me here to turn around this franchise, and that is why I'm here, and that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do everything I can to give those fans a reason to cheer instead of boo. We deserve to be booed tonight. We were not good enough. I got no problem with that, but I'm here to change it. And we're going to get to work on that. We've been trying. Now we got more work to do. I can't wait to get started next year on turning this franchise around. That's why I'm here.
Whoa, Nelly!
Christmas Day ratings came out for the NFL and the NBA. The NFL averaged 24.1 million viewers on their Netflix games.
Only.
Yep.
Without any regular TV.
The NBA, 5.25 million on cable they averaged per game. Was this the worst knockout since like Riley Yauk taught us about on Christmas Eve when St. Nick knocked out, what was it, Audius or Arius in the Council of Nicene?
John Arias.
Knocking out John Arias.
Or Arius, or however you said that name.
Nebraska did.
That's fair. Yeah, it's a TKO. The idea, and I watched a little bit. I didn't watch any NBA because they didn't put the Bucks on, which is ridiculous. Ridiculous. But I watched a little bit as a good ending to that Laker game, and I think that was the biggest draw. LeBron, you're delusional, my friend. That it's the NBA. I like the NFL, but we run the NBA runs Christmas. No, you don't. Not even close. You're on ABC and ESPN, and you got 6 or 7 million. This is a streaming-only service, and you got 25 million. Like, it is what it is, man. Know where you're at. Try to find some different real estate. Start your season on Christmas Day. Let's cut the October, November stuff, and let's start and finish later. It's a TKO like Michael Spinks and Tyson. That's how bad that was.
Yeah, the NFL is king. It also knocked out all of the college football playoff ratings, too.
Yeah.
Incredible.
King
Absolutely
Kong, baby.
incredible.
King Kong. Well, let's talk about Quick Trip, Jason. What do you think about talking about Quick Trip?
I
Life's
always
busy,
love talking
right?
about Quick Trip. I'm going to be stopping there somewhere between here and the Twin Cities.
Yeah, you got that free coffee that you got over Christmas. They still have a bunch of great deals going. I see one for a big cup of soup. A little cold out, get a big cup of soup. They got the great clean restrooms and fresh groceries. Quick Trip's got you covered, and don't stress out throughout the rest of this holiday. They got the fuel to get you where you need, and they got ATMs, and they got free air for your tires. They got Nature's Touch chocolate milk, a half gallon for $2.49. They got boneless pork chops for 99 cents. They got summer sausage, 2 for $7.50, and of course all their great chicken deals. Quickery white bread is just 99 cents a loaf. All that great stuff. Download the Quick Rewards app. Take advantage of everything that Quick Trip has to offer. And if you're still trying to find something great to give somebody for New Year's or for Christmas, get them gift cards. They don't expire. Get Quick Trip gift cards. Everybody is happy. We'll see you next time.
We'll wrap up the week with Feel Good Friday, painted by Holman Lindsay Paints. Next, it's Wilde and Tausch.
This is Wilde and Tausch, brought to you by Grassland Butter. Grassland Dairy is Wisconsin. Learn more at grasslandbutter.com.
Mark Tauscher here, wishing you happy holidays that are merry and bright from the great team at Everlight Solar. 'Tis the season to take back control over your energy bill by making the switch to solar. My family, we trusted the team at Everlight Solar to help us make the switch. And from the very beginning, the awesome Everlight team helped educate us on all the benefits of switching to solar. As they explained things along the way, the process was super easy. Make it your resolution to make the switch to solar energy. Join our family in creating a greener environment for ourselves and for our community. Save money and help save the planet by making the switch to solar. Learn more and schedule a free consultation at everlightsolar.com. That's everlightsolar.com. And happy holidays from the entire team at Everlight Solar.
Experience, knowledge, and results. That's what you need when you've been in a serious truck accident. Call Gruber Law Offices. We've successfully helped people injured by big trucks for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by the Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's home for craft beer and pub food since 1994. Find the Great Dane nearest you and check out the menu at greatdanepub.com. Wisconsin men's basketball off through the new year. They'll have Iowa to tip off 2025. Senior Max Klusman on the team's identity moving into conference play, believing they can hang with the best of the best.
I don't think we wow anybody athletically, or maybe not pass the eye test, as some would like to say. At the end of the day, you got a whole group of 17 guys that are going to come out compete at a really high level, and we're going to, swing the hardest we can swing each and every night. We're going to try to make your life difficult. We're going to, come at you, keep coming at you, throwing haymakers, and, we're relentless, and we just won't give up.
If you're not getting windows from Santa, get as low as $19 per window and $81 per patio door per month. PellaWI.com.
Gold medalist and ESPN Madison foodie Matt Hamilton here to tell you about Metcalf's Market. As a proud Wisconsinite, you know I support local, and it doesn't get more local than fourth-generation, family-operated Metcalf's Market. Renowned for offering an extensive selection of local and premium quality foods, it's the best place to shop for me and my family. Where family tradition meets commitment to quality, sustainability, and supporting local communities, head to one of their locations today in Hilldale, near Westtown Mall, or Wauwatosa. Metcalf's Market. Bring local home.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison always does New Year's Eve big, so join the celebration and make it a night to remember. On Tuesday, December 31st, we have New Year's Eve hot ticket drawings, both day and night, with a $5,000 grand prize at 4 p.m. and another $5,000 grand prize just after midnight. Plus, you'll enjoy rewards play, a live DJ, a wide selection of food and drink specials, and of course, our 95% average payout. Come for the drawings, stay for the party at
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Wilde And Tausch is brought to you by Tito's Handmade Vodka. Tito's makes the good stuff for good times. Find recipes, videos, and more at titosvodka.com.
Snow is falling all around me.
Time to close out the week with Feel Good Friday, painted by Home and Lindsay Paints. We go to the inventor of Feel Good Friday, Old T.
Yeah, and this is quick because we're running out of time, but my boy Jason Eck gets the job down at New Mexico with the Lobos, and I just saw his son, who has become a heck of a player for him at Idaho. He's going along with him down to New Mexico and has really turned into a great player. I just have to think, and I've been texting with him, how cool and awesome that is that your son, who nobody really was recruiting when he first got to Idaho, has become an all-Big Sky player and now going to play big boy football down there at New Mexico with him. It has to be one of the coolest Christmas presents you could have. So kudos to all the X, and especially Jackson, for putting all that work in to get to the point where he's at.
Amen. And now I'm going to take my Idaho stuff and sell it on Poshmark. Tell Eck I need some new Lobos gear, would you? That is our week. We will be back on Monday, or at least I will be, to discuss Packers-Vikings. Thanks for coming along for the ride with us today. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Miss any of today's episode of Wilde And Tausch? Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Come